And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to another week, another edition of the WardiTV Monday. WardiTV Monday 69. Nice. Your weekly dose of WardiTV action. I'm Coach VIP with you. I'm joined by these amazing players, by the people in chat, and by my plushies as well. Welcome, one and all. Welcome to one and all to our weekly broadcast of the WardiTV tournament. Again, this is a weekly tournament. Every single Monday we have the WardiTV Monday itself. I will say that there are some exceptions. Sometimes there's 2 events in a week, or sometimes, you know, there's other events that do kind of cross over and don't allow for the event to take place, but for the most part is a weekly tournament. Also, as a reminder, this is a replay cast. This is last week's WardiTV Monday. We used to cover this event weekly on a regular basis, but in recent times, ever since daylight savings, the event starts a little bit too late here in Australia, so we no longer cover it live. Instead, we cover it the week after via replay instead. So we're here to catch up on the event. We're going to be jumping into the quarterfinals. Again, when it comes to this tournament, it is at a bit of a more European-friendly time slot, so you often get a lot of European and some Korean players that stay up late as well. Regulars are players like Clem, Max, Solar, Classic, herO, Cure, Byun, and many, many others. For now, though, we're going to be jumping into the quarterfinals. It is going to be a best of 3 TVZ between Clem and Solar. Going to be jumping into our first game of the match, or of the series. It is going to be on Mothership. Let's go. Let us go. Just catching up in the chat. Shema, papi. 36. Shema, buenos dias. Minus 20 degrees outside. You're crazy, papi. You're crazy. The polar opposite here in Australia. We're deep in the summer. Thankfully, it's been raining recently, so it hasn't been too hot, but last week it was brutal. I mentioned it before, but last week we hit peaks of 47 degrees Celsius, papi. It was brutal. It was like, I want to say 3 days, right? It was like 3 days. It was like 47, and sorry, it was like 43 one day, then 47, and then 40. Like, it was like 3 days of like intense heat, and obviously the bushfires were happening. But recently, you know, it's been cooling down a little bit, or at least becoming more humid with a lot of rains, and even some flooding. So that's Australia, baby. 1 week we got firestorms all over the place, another week we have flooding all over the place. So yeah, let's go. For now that we're jumping into our first series of the broadcast. Spawning at the bottom of the side of Mothership, we have the French Terran player. We have the red Terran representing Team Liquid. It is Clem. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the South Korean Zerg player, the blue Zerg for Team Falcons. It is Solar. Here we go. Welcome on also Mothership. Mothership is a 3-player spawn map. In the map pool, you can spawn in top left, top right, and bottom side as well. 3 possible spawn locations, and we'll see how our players do approach this. Again, this is a larger map of the map pool. We often see longer and longer games. Typically, early game aggression isn't really seen too often here in TVZ. So far, standard openers from Solar, standard opener out of Clem as well. It's gonna take a little bit longer for our players to scout each other, and that is gonna be a bit of an issue here, as Clem will be scouting on the right hand side, so will Solar. They both scout the incorrect location first, but there is nothing really aggressive of either player, so nothing really to scout early on. Of course, I don't know that. Not yet. It's catching up. Buenos dias. Buenos dias. Buenos dias. Good day to stay at home and watch some StarCraft. Este la grasa, papi. Yes, good day. Take care, papi. Take care. Sounds biblical. No. Not wrong, papi, not wrong. Every year in summer, every January here in Australia, we get cleansed, papi. We get cleansed. The fires and the floods. Only the strong survive. Smurge. In all seriousness though, best of luck to all those out there that are affected. I know that we have had some viewers as well that have been affected by the cyclones that have been hitting, or things of that nature. So I hope everyone is taking care. Everyone's taking care. Wish everyone the best as we are settling in. So far, third CC has been thrown down. So 3 CC into a 1-1-1 out of Clem. So 3 CC Starport, typically 3 CC Banshee. So economic opener here out of our Terran player. Likewise, Solar is going for his own standard build. Nothing crazy yet. We have yet to determine whether or not Solar goes for earlier tech or not. Welcome to Mothership. This is a larger map, and on these larger maps, this is where something like Mutaplay is more viable. If you've been watching TVZ as of late in the recent patch and the recent map pool, you have seen that Mutaplay and Ling Bane Muta has been more viable, has been more common. It's been great to see kind of the return of Ling Bane meter, and that can be seen in this matchup as well. I say can be just because I would say it's very difficult to get away with meter play against Clem specifically. Clem is just such an aggressive player, and if he sees an opening, if he sees a vulnerability, he will push you. Like, he will push in and he will punish. It can be very difficult to get away with those greedier builds against a Terran player like Clem, so we'll see. Shall see. Link speed kicks in, Clem does pull away, and we're soon reaching the point where we're about to see our tech of choice. So do we go into the faster lair? Do we go double evo chamber? Do we go safety Bailey nest? It's going to be up to Solar. Oh, that I was not expecting. It is going to be a 3cc into starport, but no add-on. We have a delayed tech lab here going for an earlier liberator instead. Not often seen. Typically when you go for this build, you go for a Viking first. The reason why you go for the Viking is to hunt down the Overlord. To hunt down the Overlord into night vision. But because we're on Mothership, there is no Overlord, right? Remember, Solar, he scouted top right first, so the Overlord is not in position to scout, which means you don't need the Viking. You can skip it and go instead into the Liberator. So a bit of a more unique kind of adaptation here out of Clem because of the map. Overlord is now trying to get a scout off, but again, it's going to be very late. Oh, it's not tuning up. My apologies. I will remove the tuner from the map after this game, if I remember. Liberator moves out. Overlord is going to be zoned away. And in the bases, what do we have to defend? We have, okay, we're in positions. We have a Spore here at the natural, no Spore in the main base, and we have a Spore on the way at the third. So the Spores, they will help out. Hellions are looking for a way in, and so far, Solar is keeping up. Meanwhile, we have the answer as to the question of what kind of tech we're going into. Double Evo Chamber. Double Evo Chamber out of Solar, going into double upgrades. So we have a greedier build here out of Solar. The Hellions are making their way in. Yeah, they're diving into the natural. Lings are somewhat in position, and they will defend. Yeah, Lings are in position. The Queens are coming from behind. The Hellions are going to be completely shut down. Nice defense here by Solar. Whew. Shuts down the Hellions, deals with the Liberator. So far, so good. Solar, he defends, he holds on. Upgrades are on the way. The downside of this is that this will delay the lair. So later lair, later bailing speed, but better in the long run because you will have the faster upgrades. Faster 1-1, faster 2-2. It's going to be the early to mid game where Solar is going to be the most vulnerable because of the delay on the Baneling Nest. Now, I say delay on the Baneling Nest. Okay, there we go. I was about to say we still don't have one yet, but there we go. Now it gets thrown down. Until then, he's going to be vulnerable. Clem, he's gearing up towards Stim. Stim is finishing up. Third TC is already on location. And we'll see if Clem can break the defenses of Solar. So far, Solar has been defending well. Couple of Truman's getting sniped. And here comes the first drop with Stim. Stim is done. Combat Shield is just now starting. Clem, I believe he already saw, yeah, he already saw the Evo Chamber, so he's aware of the build. Is aware. And it's going to be up to Solar to try to keep up with his creep to minimize losses when it comes to Queens, to make sure they don't get caught out. There we go, we have some slow Banelings morphing in. And Clem, he wants his Queens. Oh. Sets up. Cleaning up all the creep. There's, what, 3 Queens here in position. Ling Bane is ready. So he will hold. Oh. As Clem clutch transfuse, does not get the Queen. Queen does not go down. At the same time, Liberator does hit the northern base. Good reactions out of Solar. He pulls away in time. Ooh, but he will lose one of the Queens. Does he lose 2? No, 2 Queens go down. No transfuse. Nice trade here out of Clem. And can he get another? He wants it. Oh. Doesn't quite get a 3rd Queen, but 2 Queen kills. I mean, a nice start here out of Clem. Pulls back. A 4th CC is on the way. Clem also building up into the mid game. And now moving out with another double drop. As he moves out, does split the Ling around by. Hellions are in position. Hellions deflect. Baneling speed is just now about to finish up. Ooh, Clem pushing towards that would be 5th. And we'll see if he can force a cancel. Clears up a lot of creep, actually. Creep is being cleaned up. There is a Widow Mine. Doesn't waste the shots. Up, up. Ooh, one of the Banelings does connect, though. We get an okay connection with the Baneling. At the same time, while Soul is distracted, Clem, he does stim in towards a 4th. And this time, he does get a Queen. It's gonna be the third queen going down, gets into the mid run. Ooh, late reaction out of Solar. He pulls away too late. Yeah, pulls away too late. That's gonna be 8 drones going down. 9 SCVs also went down across the map to a bailing run by. Both players taking hits. Both players sustaining damage. I will say this was still a better trade here for Clem. Bearing in mind he didn't just kill 8 drones, he was able to kill 3 queens. 3 queens. Oh, no active tumors here on the south side, and that means he can push in. Yeah, he can push in. Limited creep here at the 5th base, and the 5th base is forfeit. Yeah, cannot be saved. Cannot save the 5th. Now, this is a really scary moment. Because Clem has controlled the southern half of the map, where does Solar expand? He can expand in the center, which the army is already here. He can't expand on the south side, and the top side here also no creep either. You can see Solar is going for the northern base. It's going to be a tough hold. This is where Clem has a lot of momentum, and if played well, Clem can just deny the 5th base indefinitely. So the 5th base is being taken. Once again, there's no creep. Solar's main army's in position though. And he will collapse in. Oh, the mine shot. Ooh, brutal connection. Oh my god. Yeah, mine shots are popping up. Lings are completely cleaned up. Ta-da! Yes, more mine shots. Now, thankfully, Clem doesn't notice. Clem, he's unaware of the base. He's unaware of the expansion, but he's still trading very well. Pushing on the south side. Forcing Solar to rotate. And Solar, he will defend against this push, but the 5th. As we mentioned before, like this 5th base, it may never get up and running. Now, things will change once Solar gets into Hive Tech. Once he gets into Hive Tech, he can get into Vipers, he can tech up into Lurkers as well, and then he can start to break out. But until then, again, once the dominoes start falling, it's very, very difficult to stop them from falling in ZVT. There's a couple of overlords get caught out. There's still that double jump in between the bases. Solar going for the center expansion. Again, there's no creep here. It's all receding. Double drop is activated. Getting into the main. We'll scout the Hive. Gets eyes on the Hive. Gets eyes on the Lurker Den. Nice positioning here with the Marines. Reducing service area. And even kills the 4th. Oh, good. And that should not have happened. 4th base goes down. We were discussing about how difficult it's going to be for Solar to maintain a 5th, but I mean, what about the 4th, Pappy? 4th base goes down, Solar is down to 3 bases, limited economy, limited production. That's the other big part here. And the other drastic thing, or the other brutal thing about losing your hatcheries is that that also impacts your ability to remax as a Zerg player. A lot of it is limited. Solar pushing through the center, he's had enough. Yeah, he's had enough. He's going to lose another expansion. That's another kill, another cancel. And Solar is forcing himself all in. Oh god, there's Liberation back at home though. Yeah, Liberation has arrived. Oh, a couple of Bailings do connect. So some decent connections there by Solar. Late reaction out of Clem. Clem was distracted. Solar rotating over towards the 3rd. Liberators there late to reposition. But Solar cannot move in. Yeah, there's just too much Terran back at home. No, Viper, get out of here. Lurker Den, I believe, is done, but no Lurker upgrades. So no Lurkers in sight. No Lankers back. Oh, as a couple of Bailings do slip in. Okay. No reaction. The reactions, the main armies do clash instead. 7 SCV kills, some okay damage here by Solar, but again, he has to buy time for the bases to actually kick in. And remember, he has to make a stand here. He cannot afford to lose another base. And Solar's being forced to engage. Decent power bomb here on the Liberators. But they do reposition. There's not enough Fling Bane. Yeah, not enough Fling Bane. And the Mine Shots! Oh my god. Mine Shots are popping up. There's a little bit more Link Bane that's able to trickle in. And Solar cleans up with the Liberators. Let's go. That's 4. 4 Liberators go down. 14 SCVs also fall here towards the south side as well. Nice run by, nice damage here by Solar. And he saves the center expansion. Okay. Now, as it all settles here, we have a 4th. We have a 5th. No, never mind. 4 bases. 4 bases, still not ideal. Still not ideal. Still no 5th expansion as the northern base is still not yet done. Just now finishing up. So Solar, he still needs time to recover. As you can see, Solar has no bank. And we have an even base count versus an even base count. The Terran player has a more efficient army. They are ahead economically. The space is finally getting up. Clem does confirm. Ooh. That's time for the medevac. And Clem's also getting his 5th. Aye, aye, aye. Yeah, so Clem maintaining a better economy. How many lurkers? 8. Okay, 8 lurkers, 3 vipers. It's a decent composition. Thankfully for Solar, Clem, he did delay his ghost production. Intentionally so. The ghost only just now popping out, as ghosts were not necessary pre-lurker. So without a higher ghost count, Solar, he can take a fight. Planetary's not yet done. Lurkers pushing in, but the ghosts are in position. Oh no! Yeah, the ghosts are ready. Snipe topping off, getting one of the lurkers. Down to 7. 7 lurkers left. CVs are going down even. Can snipe the CC. Oh no! Can he get it? Oh my god, just barely. Snipes the command center. 19 SCV kills. Nice damage here by Solar. Get some nice damage. Most lurkers do get away. This is a very, this was a great push here by Solar. At the same time, Clem sneaking out across the map. The northern base here is exposed. Clem gets spotted. So he reacts. You can see him lunge across the map. He's racing him to defend, and I believe he should get here in time. Yeah, he does. Does react in time. Now Clem is building up into a super maxed army. This is pretty terrifying here. The lurkers are on their own. Okay, the rest of the army does rotate in time. Oh, as the one snipe pops off. Oh no! I'll slam one of the snipes. Lurker harassing on the right hand side. Medevacs and drops are being dealt with. But the lurker count here seems too low. Only 4 lurkers. Let's get a ghost. Yeah, ghosts are exposed. 1, 2, 3 ghosts going down. Nice pick offset by Solar. Yeah, this 1 lurker's denying mining. That's Solar. He's holding. He's holding. He's attacking. He's harassing. And even looking to push out across the map. It looks like he doesn't quite have enough to break the planetary, but again, he holds on to his bases. He actually maintains control of his 5th base. Now getting a 6th. So he has money. He has momentum. The lurker count is very high though. He's down to 2 lurkers. So you get a nice run by. There's a counterattack Nidusworm in the mineral line. Sure, okay. Keeping Clem busy. And Solar, for the first time in a long time, he has momentum. He has momentum, he has bases, he has an economy. He's slowly building up that bank. He's got a decent lurker count. He's looking good. Solar able to stabilize. And now Clem, he's stuck at home. Clem, he's stuck at home. He can take a fight defensively here with his planetaries and with a defensive setup. But Clem, he has to lick his wounds, has to recover, rebuild. Tiny lurkers 7. Solar goes for his Ling round by. Oh, does force a cancel. Nidus on the right hand side. Lurkers are in the Nidusworm. Oh, the splits had a club. It's crazy. And we're getting to the point here where Solar can take a fight and then remax. It's not going to be the best remax, but he does have a decent chunk of minerals and gas to be able to rebuild and keep momentum going. But it still comes down to the fight. Still comes down to the engage. As the Zerg army is trickling in. Yeah, decent mine connections. Where are the lurkers, by the way? They're all in the Nidus. Okay. So every single lurker's in the Nidus form. I mean, I say every lurker, there's only 6. Instead, Solar relying on purely Lingbane Hydra. A handful of Vipers. Which again, isn't the most ideal army in this stage of the game. It's a very mobile composition, that is true. But in a head-on fight, it's not ideal. Nidus here at the natural. Clem has an army in position. He's at the Nidus. It's friendly fire. As Solar's going for a planetary. Yeah, Banelings are rolling in. The planetary looks like it's going to go down. Oh, as Banelings actually, they don't commit. Down only half HP. Okay. Clem holds. Clem holds on. That's a lot of Lingbane being thrown away. Clem takes a better fight. Commits across the map. Ooh. Snipe on the Viper. And again, we're the lurkers. I mean, we know the answer. They're in the Nidus. They're still in the Nidus. We're the lurkers. They're not home to defend. Lings are coming for the surround. Ooh, snipes on the Hydras. Yeah, Ghosts, they snipe the Hydras. They just stand their ground. Snipes are brutal, and the Ghosts, they just come out on top. They come out on top, takes out every single Hydra. The Lings as well. We have reinforcements coming in. Clem forces split. And force to pull back to his Liberators. Again, this is still a better trade for the Terran. He caught every single Hydra and Solar. He supply blocked. He can't spend his money. He's got 3,000 minerals, 2,000 gas. He cannot spend his money. Ay, ay, ay. Yeah, brutal supply block. 8 overlords are being built. Lurkers, they force a counterattack. Again, imagine these lurkers defensively. It would have been a much stronger defense out of Solar. Lurkers are being cleaned up by the Liberator. Drop across the map, killing a base. And Solar, is he out of larva? Oh, he is. Yeah, Solar. Larva is an issue now. No injections. Yeah, no injects. No injects, limited larva. Solar trying to rebuild, remaxing with Ling. How many queens does Solar have? 4. He's got his queens. There we go. Now he injects. There goes his wave of injects. But Clem now takes the lead, takes momentum. Again, Solar's in a decent position, but as we mentioned, the lurkers that were never really made use of. Defensively, they could have excelled, but they weren't there. Clem took a much more efficient fight. Supply blocked Solar. Now he's moving in. He already sniped the 6th. Oh. Avoids the fungal. Does avoid. The Liberators, they hold their own. We have Corruptors on the way. Oh, okay. It's a big investment for a handful of Liberators. I mean, Corruptors, they have their place, especially if the plan is to transition into Broodlords. But I don't know if Solar has the money for that. Not anymore. These Liberators are being so annoying. Oof. Some friendly fire. Snipes A2 barely connect with the Hydras. I saw a lot of ghosts going down. Solar, that's a decent fight here, but now he's stuck with too many Corruptors. We just mentioned that's 11 Corruptors, and what's in the sky? What can they do, Fabi? What can they do? I guess what I'm getting at, all those Corruptors, we could have seen, what, 5 lurkers? 5, 6 lurkers, a couple of extra infestors. Again, just to defend and hold the line, but the base does full. And Clem establishes another base. Another base is up and running. Speaking of other bases, we do see that Solar, he's running out of money. You can see his mine out of his natural, his 3rd, his main base. His 4th only has 4 patches left. His 5th, no mining. 6th, no mining, I should say. Solar, he needs money. He needs an economy, and Clem is maxed out. Oh, nice muggle. Very nice catch. They're catching out most of the ghosts. Oh, but God, the mind shots though. The mind shots, they make up for that. Jesus. Yeah, as Marines, they just rush across the map. They step in. Catching out Overlords once again. I mean, it's all value. Yeah, start stepping into the natural. Catching out Overlords, catching out a Lurker as well. 2 Lurkers go down. Catching out 2 Lurkers. Hey, the drops are being dealt with, but now we have another push. Another push, another move out. Clem just dragging the entire army through the freedom zones. With that, he can reinforce, and Clem, with this, he should be able to break the main army, push into the bases. And Solar cannot afford to lose these. Yeah, GG gets called. Both bases were vulnerable, and Clem will take game number 1. Whew. GG. GG, well played. Clem takes the lead in the series. Again, Solar, he honestly played quite well when it came to recovering. It was kind of a roller coaster ride of emotions here, where initially Clem had a little momentum. Remember, Clem, he killed the 4th twice. He killed the 4th base time and time again, killed the 5th base, was just denying bases and denying expansions and keeping Solar pinned back. Eventually, Solar did recover once he was able to get into his Lurkers, but we saw that he was stuck in a really weird place, where Solar was able to get his 5th base up and running, but he was stuck on Lingbane Hydra. It took him a really long time to start to transition out of that. He did incorporate some Lurkers, but we saw the moment that he attempted to commit into a Nidus Worm, he kept his Lurkers in the Nidus, and he was vulnerable back at home, and that's when he lost the fight, lost the bases, and lost momentum in that game. GG. GG, well played. I mean, he also got supply blocked as well. There was just so much that went wrong in those couple of moments for Solar when Clem broke out, and with that, Clem takes the lead. Oh, as I just realized, there we go. Clem takes the lead, and now we're getting into game number 2. Gonna be loading into White Rabbits. Oh no, after this, I'll get rid of the tuna. Get rid of the tuna. As spawning in the top right-hand corner here, White Rabbits, we have the French Terran player. We have the French Terran. We have the Red Terran representing Team Liquid, leading the series 1-0. It is Clem. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Zerg player. We have the Blue Zerg representing Team Falcons. It is Solar. We go. Consumed by the void. Oh no. Should be good. Should be all good. But we're getting into game 2, and again, Solar, he had his own strong moments in that last game as well, where he was able to gain some momentum, able to gain map control, able to build up a bank as well, but unfortunately he was stuck with a lower tech army. He was unable to break some of the expansions of Clem, and again was unable to make full use of his Lurkers either, so a little bit rough there in the longer and later game. Everything's just got so chaotic. But now we're loading into one of the larger maps. Welcome to White Rabbits. A large map in the map pool, long rush distance by ground, very spread out bases. It can be quite difficult to keep up with army rotations as the defending player, and we'll see how Solar will approach this. Once again, I will reiterate that we have seen a lot of muta play in recent times, and we have seen a lot of mutas on these larger maps, like White Rabbits, like Celestial Enclave, Winter Madness, Mothership. We'll see. We shall see. We're just calming things down. Standard openers so far, nothing crazy, nothing wild. Our last game, we saw that Clem did do something a little bit more aggressive by skipping his Viking and going Liberator first after the 1-1-1. But we did mention that that was a little bit more map specific for Mothership. Just because the Overlord was not in position to scout. So we should be seeing either a starport after the CC into Viking or Banshee play. We'll see. So he provokes in, gets his Zergling. Nice pick up here by Clem. Takes down the Zergling. Ooh, catching up the drone as well. Ay, ay, ay. Brutal body blocking here, and the drone goes down. Delay on the third base. Very strong start for Clem. Very strong starts. The Queens have to wardle off a creep to protect the drone. Oh, Clem going for the eBay block. Goes to the eBay block. Oh, get out of here. Drone gonna be zoned away. Oh, and Solo forced to expand at the triangular location. Late expansion and a much more vulnerable expansion as well. Ay, ay, ay. 18 lings. Oh my god. Solar, he does go for a very strong reaction. 18 lings are on the way. Massive counterattack, massive investments, very committed. If this fails to get damage done, Solar, he will fall and stay behind. Solar's already in a rough position, so he's going for a drastic reaction here. Going for a massive ling flood. It's a big gamble. If he can avoid those Hellions, if he can get into the mineral line, then he can get some damage done. So he does veer off on the right hand side. Overlords, they spot the Hellions. Clem pulls away. And Clem, he doesn't notice. He does not notice. Hellions, they do not get surrounded. Yeah, Clem, he races back home. Races back home, and Lings, they peel back. But because the Hellions scattered, Clem, he reacts in time. He reacts in time, he pulls away the SCVs. Very nice reaction. He will lose 1, 2, maybe 3 SCVs in total, if that. Oof. As Hellions, they roast up the Lings, and this was not worth of a Solar. Again, if these Hellions did not scout the Lings, then there would have been no reaction. The SCVs would have been stuck on the low ground, and Solar could have gotten damage done. But that's only 2 SCV kills for 18 Lings. So, sorry, 23 Lings. Oof. Ay, ay, ay. And with that Solar, he's in a brutal position. We spoke about it earlier, but all those Lings could have been drones. They could have all been workers instead. Likewise, the third base was late as well. So late third base, late drones, late saturation, wasted Zerglings, and Clem is in a very comfortable position, going for a 1-1-1 as well. So 1-1-1 out of Clem. Delayed CC, delayed third base, faster Banshees, faster Cloak, more aggressive. So Banshee does move out. Gets 1 drone so far. Gets 1. There's no lair. There's no lair. There's no overseer. So free damage here from the Banshee. Doesn't get the Queen, but does spend a transfuse. Zoning back the Queens. Hellions are making their way in. They're going straight for the third. No, the army zoned away. The drones are vulnerable, and this is getting out of hand. This is getting out of hand here. Lings, they are going to be roasted. There's only 2 Lings left, down to 0. And again, this is also forcing Zerglings out of Solar. Banshees, he wants the Queens. No more transfuse. Yeah, no transfuse. Getting 1 Queen. Hellions, they make their way into the main. And this is all just snowballing out of control because of the opener. It all came down to the eBay block. Like it came down to the Reaper killing the drone. It all played into itself. Kills another Queen. As Hellions, they rotate into the main once again. Getting another. God, what is that? 5? 5 Queens. 5 Queens go down, 40 Zerglings as well. And once again, to reiterate, yes, the drone count here wasn't really touched too much, but it was. All those Zerglings, most of them could have been drones. Late fourth base, late drones, late saturation, late economy. Damage was still done. This one Banshee still popping off. Oh boy. Now, this is going to be a little bit of a Hail Mary play. Spire. We're going into mutas. So Solar, we brought up mutas at the start of the game, if you recall, for good reason, because this map is known for muta play. But having a stifled economy here, this is a big risk, a big gamble, and the goal here is to get into mutas, to harass across the map, maybe not necessarily get much damage done, but keep Clem at home. If Solar can keep Clem busy while he takes his 4th base, drones up, and re-establishes himself, then he can potentially recover in this game. But the reality is that right now, Solar is behind. Like, Solar, he is behind, he's in a really rough place, And these mutas are a way to recover, potentially. But Clem is pushing. Clem is moving out. Oh boy. Now remember, because of the mutas, no bailing speed. Remember, there's no bailing speed, so we have slow banes to defend. And this push is looking terrifying. Clem rocks up on the 4th. The army can't quite engage. There's a tank in position. That base is going to be denied. There's a cancel. There's the 4th. Catches out 2 bailings. He pulls back. And Clem can take this fight. Yeah, he can take it. We'll lose the tank, but still trades well against the Ling Bane. And all he needed, deny the 4th, right? All he needed to do was deny the 4th base. Keep Solo on a low economy. Mutas are moving out. They will delay the 4th. Oh. This kind of doesn't quite catch a muta. No, quite. Back at home, where we have to defend, we have turrets. Turrets are in position. Marines are here at the 3rd. And they turn away the mutas. Once again, as you mentioned, this is the goal for Solus, to keep the army back at home to defend. Ooh, as he will lose 1 muta. And oh, that's the mine shot pops up, takes down a muta, does soften them up. We see Clem setting up for a trap, trying to catch out the mutas. Solo doesn't react. Ooh, too late. Yeah, too little, too late. 2 more mutas go down. Aye. Drop across the map as well. And where are the bailings? Yeah, where are the bailings? Marines, they do trade efficiently here. Still no bailing speed. Oh wait, no, sorry, just not finishing up. My apologies. Just does finish up. And here comes the main push. And once again, I should emphasize as well, you know, the soup does lie. Clem is up in supply, but he's actually further ahead. Again, typically the Zerg player wants to be up just because they have a more inefficient army. They want to be up 10, 20, 30 army supply to try to engage here. Upgrades are not yet done, so these are going to be 0-0 Ling Bane. Just because all the gas is spent on the mutas. Mutas are harassing across the map. Marines are at home to defend. Clem commits in. How good are the mine shots? Decent connections. And nice spread there by Clem. The Thor is here. Clem is pushing further in. Oh, he clumps up. Yeah, Clem does clump. Missed control there by Clem. So this is maybe the best fight that Solo could have hoped for, and it's still not going to be good enough. The Thor survives. Clem can keep pushing in. Oh, he even saves the Thor. And we get some decent bailing connections. The connections are decent. Solo looks like he can barely clean this up. He's going to hide enough muta counts. But Clem is still rallying. Yeah, Clem is still rallying in. Oh god. Alright, just connecting. Drop harassing at the same time. 10 drones go down and we just rally. Yeah, Clem just rallies across the map. He stims, but yet he wins. Wow. That's no bailings left. Nice target firing. Massive connections on the mutas. GG gets called, and Clem, he will take the series 2-0, advancing on to the semi-finals. GG. GG, well played. A really rough early game there from Solar. Winding it back, if you remember, Solar, he was heavily delayed at his natural. If you recall, his initial drone was killed. His drone was killed, his second worker was delayed as there was an eBay block at the 3rd base as well, so very, very late expansion. Solar forced to expand at the triangular 3rd location instead, and because Solar's early game was so rough, because he was so delayed, he went for a Ling Flood. He made 18 extra Lings. I want to say it was 23 in total, went for a massive Ling Flood, Ling counterattack across the map, but if you remember, they got scattered. They got scattered by the Hellions on Clem's side of the map. That gave Clem the precious seconds he needed to pull his boys away from the natural. And what did he lose to the Link Flood? 2 SCVs. He lost 2 SCVs, so Clem took a massive lead early on. That's why the Banshee and the Hellion Harass was so terrifying, was so effective. And even though he didn't kill many workers, he killed 40 Zerglings, he killed 5 Queens, and he denied the 4th base. He denied the 4th base, keeping Solo on a low base count, low economy, low production. GG. GG, well played. Whew. And with that, Clem does advance on into the next round. Very quickly though, I'm gonna get rid of the tuna. I'm gonna un momento. There we go. Does advance on to the semifinals to face off against his next opponent. Oh my god, what a semifinals match. We're out of the seeding here, as Clem is gonna be going up against herO in the next round. Let's go. Let us go. Just catching up in the chat. Here we go. So game 1 is going to be on Ruby Rock. Again, herO is, I would say, the best Protoss in the world at the moment. Clem being the best Terran in the world, and they're about to face off here in the semis. Let's go. Again, this is typically a finals match, but not this tournament, and there's a reason for that. We'll get into it. Spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Ruby Rock, we have the French Terran player. We have the red Terran representing Team Liquid. It is Clem. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the South Korean Protoss player. We have the blue Protoss representing T1. It is herO. Here we go. We have our series. We have our semis. As a reminder, the winner of this series will advance on to the grand finals to face off against the winner of the other semifinals match, which will be actually Trigger and a Laser. Surprising pairing there in the upper semis. A reason for that is because if you remember, Trigger was actually last week's champion, so Trigger was the #1 seed of the tournament. So Trigger, he had good seeding as he was the WardiTV Monday number 68 champion. We did win over Clem. Did beat Clem. But now, ooh, double gas opened out of Clem and going for a faster factory, a more safer tech-heavy start out of our Terran player. This does make sense. Welcome to Ruby Rock. Ruby Rock is one of the smaller maps in the map pool. Aggression is favored here, and Clem is playing safe to make sure he doesn't die to any kind of random aggression, like a proxy gateway, like early move-outs. Oh, here just being as annoying as possible, forcing a second SCV off the mineral line, and does scout both gases. So herO knows. He knows, he is aware. I stay jaunty back. Oh, herO, he goes back in. Calm down, herO, calm down. Dips back in. Doesn't kill the SCV, thankfully. SCV does survive. herO pulls out. From here, we're waiting for our tech of choice, and herO, he will hide his probe. Now, I would imagine this is just to keep it hidden to go in for a rescout later on. Otherwise, we could see a proxy pylon here, and we could see something more sinister, but Warp Gate is being researched, and we should be seeing it Twilight Council momentarily. So Reaper dips in. Reaper dips in, Stalker is out. Reaper does get the probe. Probe does fall. Nice body blocking though. Ooh, yeah, nice body blocking. A nice movement here out of Clem. He does pull back into the base. Has the Reaper does not regenerate. Does get a second probe though. 2 probes for a Reaper. Not a bad trade out of Clem. Not bad at all. Twilight Council has been thrown down. The probe is still in positioning on the top side. Again, if this is not for a rescout, then we could see a proxy pylon into a proxy dark shrine. Let's go. Let's go, baby, let's go. The pylon has been thrown down. Show us that dark shrine. Again, DTs can be very effective in this matchup, especially depending on the follow-up here as well. Tech Lab is on the way. This could be an add-on swap into Raven production. Hallucination does get eyes on the 111. The initial Reaper Hellion's moving out. There's that proxy Dark Shrine. And again, is Clem gonna go for the swap and open up Raven, or does he go for the early Cyclone? Cyclone. He's going for the Cyclone into medevac. No Raven production. Uh-oh. Meanwhile, the main army does try to dive in. Going for the Sentry. Sentry is going to get sniped. Sentry goes down. Reaper Hellion going further into the main. Further into the bases. I'm sure he did notice Twilight Council was not researching. True. Oh my god, nice control there by herO. He saves the probe. herO, calm down. Saves the probe. Twilight Council wasn't researching. And Clem, does he hold on to a mule? He just now muled. No orbital on the low ground? Uh-oh. Okay, no orbital yet. Drop is moving out. Dark Shrine is about to finish. And does he hold on to it? Does he hold on to a scan? Does he mule? He mules. Yeah, he did just mule. Drop into the main base. herO not quite in position. His Stalkers are here at the natural, so this can get some damage done. But here comes the Dark Templar. And DTs are waddling in. Drop gets into the mineral line. Probes are going down. A late reaction here by herO. And it's going to be 7 dead workers. At the same time, do we have a scan in the main? We're about to. Oh, the body blocking though. Yeah, nice body blocking. A scan is available in a couple of seconds. Oh, does snipe every Marine though. Jesus. Yeah, the DPS output here might just be enough, even with a scan. There's not enough here to defend. The Raven does pop out, but the tank can get sniped. Oh no, the tank. Oh my god, tank goes down. Drop back into the natural. Doesn't quite focus fire the mineral line. Dropping into the main. Getting one more probe. Oh no. Yeah, gets one more. And we're in a really awkward game state. On the one hand, herO has lost a lot of workers. He's lost 12, right? 14. Jesus. 14 probes have gone down. Right. 2 probes went down at the start of the game as well. So 14 in total. At the same time, Clem didn't lose many workers, but he did lose his army. He lost, what, 6 Marines? He lost a tank. Did lose some mining time. And herO's going to double down, or he was, but does cancel. And if you notice, but in the production tab, we actually had Shadow Stride on the way. Blink for the DTs. But herO does cancel. Oh. herO cancels. Clem is stabilizing back at home. Getting into stim. herO dropping back in. Trust back in. Catching out 3 probes. Sorry, 3 SCVs. And a Marine. As Pagos, remember, stim is not yet done. Stim was delayed due to the Cyclone harass. Due to the Raven. As the Raven is going to get away. It's 2 probes. To workers here building up into storm. Very late third base out of herO, so he's very 2-base heavy, very 2-base centric. So is Clem. But I would say this will benefit Clem more than herO. But it's still just a very awkward game state just because of all the damage that was dealt early on. I want to say that going into a macro game, Clem is in a better position. Just again, herO's third is so delayed. But Storm is going to be the deciding factor here. Storm is already done. We have 2 Templar in the War Prism. herO going for the Storm drop. Setting up for the drop. TT does distract. There are Vikings somewhat in position. Storms are coming in. Oh, does land 1. Lands 1, lands 2. Ooh, that's going to be 3 SCVs going down. Nice mining, but the Prism, do we have a recall? No recall. Oh, this is not worth it. Massive pickup. Prism goes down. 2 Templar as well. And Yeah, here he had no way out, and again, he only killed 3 SCVs. Here, does he have any defensive storms? He has 2. Okay, it's going to be 2 defensive storms. Hero is vulnerable. When Clem moves out, he may just break Hero. May just be able to break him. Clem's army is split. Hero trying to catch him out. Hero collapsing on the medevac. Medevac goes down, so a nice cleanup here at a Hero. Ooh. Show CMP. The ghost! Yeah, nice storm. Storm lands, the ghost out of position. A bit of a premature second storm. Third storm, that's the final storm coming in. Never mind, there's one more storm left. Army is zoned away. And some nice damage here by Hero. Gets 4 SCVs, denies the third base. Maintaining his own. And again, he's holding on to one more storm. Hero's just going to commit in. The boys are being pulled. Yeah, boys being pulled. 10 more SCVs going down. And Hero doesn't overextend. Does not overextend. Still holding on to that one High Templar. Clem breaking out into the open. Oh, storm does land. It lands one storm, but are there enough zealots here? It doesn't look like there are. I say that zealots are coming from behind. It's a very close fight. A mine shot goes off. Zealots are a little bit too late. Yeah, they were too late. Too little too late. The Immortal go down, and Clem, he does take the fight. Expensive losses from Hero. Oh no, Pommy. Not like this. Again, Clem holds on. The Hero, again, his reinforcements was just too late. If his prism didn't go down earlier, then he could have reinforced in the main army. And Clem finally establishes his third. Clem's third base is up. Now, what's scary about this map here, and you're kind of seeing it here and now, it's so small that once you get momentum, once you get map control, your attacks, they hit so quickly. You can just move across the map in a matter of seconds. And Hero is vulnerable. He lost all these Immortals. He's just now going to double Colossus production. He doesn't really have much of a gateway composition. Not anymore. Again, he lost everything. And it does take a long time to rebuild that kind of army. Meanwhile, Clem, he's retained his army and he's perfecting it. We have Ghosts, we have Vikings, second starport's on the way. His armory is late, but I don't blame him. It's just been a very chaotic game. But that does mean that Clem's 2-2 is going to be late. And there's going to be a window where Hero does have somewhat better upgrades. Hero's pushing in once again. Clem, he does overreact. But he does get on top of the ramp, okay. Pulls back in time. Pulls back. And the game is slowing down. From here, the game is switched. We're calming things down, papi. You're producing disruptors. Clem likewise getting his own fourth base up. As both armies look to max out, I do have to favor Clem here, but the map may be small enough where Hero may be able to outposition and rotate. We'll see. It all does come down to the army positioning, their rotations, their movement, who catches who. Oof. Speaking of, oh my god, my shots are brutal. Softening up the zealots. Clem is keeping up with the rotation. He's here at his fourth. He's ready. A couple of feedbacks. Clem, he wants those High Templar. The ghosts get caught out. They're losing 2 ghosts. Gee, there are so many Vikings. 12 Vikings, they hunt down the Colossus, getting 1, getting 2, and here he will lose everything once again. A big overextension. Here he stuck around too long. Here plummets in supply. Oh. And now hero's transitioning. This feels a little too late. I say that it is a Hail Mary play. Basically, hero is hoping that Clem is too defensive, and he'll give hero enough time to get into 10% carriers, right? The hero is going for a Skytoss transition. But if Clem decides to push, hero, I don't believe, can stop him. There's Nova's a zone away. Zelze try to get into the mineral line. More Nova's moving up. Ooh, nice connections. But Clem, he collapses in from behind. Coming in for the flank. He wants those disruptors. And hero's gonna lose everything. He's gonna lose everything once again. He cannot get away. Yeah, disruptors, they all go down. The Colossus as well, and we're never gonna get to the Skytoss. It's not gonna happen. As we mentioned before, if Clem ever pushed, he could just kill, and he pushed, and he's killing. The Vikings land. We got a storm on the ramp, and it's a decent storm. But it doesn't matter. The army can tank it. Takes down the Robo. Breaks through the bases, and hero, he has nothing left. He's got 1 Tempest on the way, baby. Let's go. Yo, he saves the probes. Recalls the workers back home. He saves them for a couple of seconds at least. But again, Clem cannot be stopped. Not anymore. Not anymore. As hero, he's banking up 2 High Templar. He's got 2 more here in his main. We're on some Terran levels of copium right now, is what. Oh god. Oh no, the cloak goes. Snipes 1, gets another High Templar. Storm zones away. And Clem, now he gets eyes. Oh, now he sets his sights on the 3rd. Pushing forward, the Tempest can be hunted down. He just tanks the storm. GG gets called, and Clem, he will take game number 1. He'll take a lead in the series. GG. Whew. GG, well played. As we get into game number 2, though, a big shout to Sort of in the chat. God, thank you so much, Sort of, for the raid. Hope you had a great stream. Hope you had a great ladder session. Hope you had a great time. Welcome, bienvenidos, as we're here covering the WardiTV Monday number 69. We're here in the semifinals. Clem just took the first game in the semis, takes a lead against hero, and we'll see if hero can recover and bounce back. Also, if you're a Zerg fan, don't you worry, we'll be covering some Zerg later on in the broadcast. A Laser is also in the semifinals, and we'll be covering a Laser versus Trigger after this series. Well, we'll get there. But GG, well played. Once again, winding it back here, hero, he was a little bit overly aggressive. We saw twice these big moments where hero overextended and lost some expensive armies, referring to losing all of his Colossus and High Templar towards a later stage of the game, or even a little bit earlier than that, losing all of his High Templar, Immortals, and Archons as well, as hero was basically all in, hyper committed, and hero failing to break Clem gave Clem so much momentum. Clem was ahead economically, ahead in the army, ahead in almost every single aspect. As we mentioned towards the end of the game, hero, he was just hoping that Clem would be more passive, and if Clem was more defensive, then maybe hero could get away with Skytoss. And technically we did see 1 Tempest at the end of the game, but again, he was not given time to transition into that Skytoss. But here we go. Spawning in the left-hand corner of Tourmaline, we have the French Terran player. We have the Red Terran representing Team Liquid. It is Clem. Leading the series 1-0, and spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have the South Korean Protoss player. We have the Blue Protoss representing T1. It is herO. Here we go. What were the vetoes in this series? Game 1 was Ruby Rocket, Game 2 is Tourmaline, hyper aggressive maps, both Game 1 and Game 2. Again, the rush distance by ground is very short on Tourmaline, has a very open entrance here into the natural, and also has an open entrance into the third base as well. We often see a lot of aggression be quite successful because of that. Again, the defender's advantage is nowhere near as strong on Tourmaline, so we'll see who's going to be the aggressor. We shall see. Last game was herO, winding it back. If you remember, herO also did open up DTs last game. We should not see Dark Templar again though, not here in Game 2, not twice in the series. I'm leaning a little bit more towards either early charge or heavy commitment into Blink Stalkers. We'll see. We shall see. Likewise, 2 games in a row, Clem going for a second gas geyser, so double gas opener, faster factory out of our Terran player. This also makes sense just because of the map itself. We did kind of rationalize this in Game 1. We're seeing it here in Game 2. Because aggression is favored here, Clem is playing safe. Hello, herO. As herO moves out his probe, it does keep it hidden and looking a little bit suspicious. Esther herO. Okay, because of his movement here, he would have avoided the initial scout across the map, but it is going to be Reactored Reaper. Okay. CC gets thrown down. This was Rax into Reactor first, into Reapers, and with this probe should be hunted down. herO does at least force down the second SCV, but the Reapers will clean this up. And alas, herO, he only did get eyes on one Reaper, he didn't see the other. Stargate opener out of herO. Okay, bold move. Bold move. Goes up the Stargate. The Hellion gets caught out, is on A move. Okay, stuck on A move, so nice catch there out of herO. Head up, say bypass the Hellion. Once again, going for the CC. herO will delay. Does lay the expansion. Oof, both adepts barely shade back. Oracle's swapping out. herO, he does have potential. There's a lot of potential here just because there's been no scout. Clem back at home. He doesn't really have anything to defend. He has no anti-air. It's purely Reaper Hellion. And we'll see if he uses this Oracle defensively or not. As the Hellion goes down, the adepts are holding their own. Reapers, they try to slip past, but they get 0 damage. Yeah, 0 damage being dealt here. This is such a big commitment out of Clem. Losing so many Reapers, getting one probe. One probe for 4 Reapers for 2 Hellions. Not worth it. And the herO takes a lead. herO with a much stronger start. Cashing out another Hellion. Another Hellion zoned away. And Clem is in a really rough position here. Gonna be stuck at home, gonna be contained. And herO, he's not going into Phoenixes. Does open Stargate, does go double Oracle. Oh, we have a 3rd Oracle on the way, okay. Getting into triple Oracle. But following that with the Twilight Council. Again, going for the Council. The Oracles are backing up back at home. I don't believe Clem has seen the 2nd Oracle, so Clem doesn't know how committed herO is. Could be 1, could be 2, could be 3. There could be a faster switch of Phoenixes. Clem is in the dark. Here comes the triple Oracle. Now the downside here, because this big commitment to Oracles, it doesn't mean that the gateway composition is that much weaker. Clem is pushing. Clem is moving out, so is herO. Back at home, there's 2 Stalkers to defend. Remember, there is no Blink, no upgrades. But the Shield Battery will finish up, getting up to 4 Stalkers. Oracle's a bust into the main. SCVs will go down. And Clem commits. And commits across the map. That's going to be 5, 6, 7 SCV kills. We're still not done. There's no anti-air here, so this is going to be critical damage. 1 Viking Arise, but there are just going to be so many dead workers. And I would argue here that Clem is kind of wasting his time here at the base. He has to keep going. Oh no! Widowmine goes down. Key pick off here by herO. Yeah, Snipes wouldn't mind this army. It's just a little bit too late. It's so slow. Finally pushing into the natural. Liberation has arrived. It does snipe 3 Stalkers. Almost. But he's running on Marines. Yeah, Marines are going down. We're down to 3-2. 2 Marines left. Down to 1. Down to 0. 0 Marines remaining. The Cyclones, they're being sniped one after the other. And herO holds. He holds. GG gets called. And herO ties up the series. We are going to the ace match. Whew. GG. GG, well played. There was potential for a pseudo base trade there, but again, Clem, he had no idea how committed herO was with his oracles. Not just that, Clem was behind after the opener, committing as hard as he did into the Reaper Hellion and achieving 0 damage. He killed 1 probe. 1 probe went down for 4 Reapers and 2 Hellions. It was not worth it, so a big commitment. With that, he was stuck at home. On top of that, because the Reapers all went down early and the Hellions as well, there was no rescout. There was no vision to see how many oracles were being built, and yeah, with that, Clem was torn apart, and now we're going to the ace match. Let's go. We're going to the ace match here, and we'll see how this story ends. Does it go the way of Clem? Does it go the way of herO? We're loading into another small map, 10,000 feet. And spawning in the top left-hand corner of 10,000 feet, we have the French Terran player. We have the French Terran. We have the Red Terran representing Team Liquid. It is Clem. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the blue Protoss player, the South Green Protoss representing T1. It is herO. Here we go. As we've made our way into the ace match. Hello, Clem. As Clem, he moves out with the SCV, keeping it hidden here on the left-hand side, and going for the proxy Raxes. Okay. I say Rax is only one. There's only one proxy SCV, so we have the Rax on the way, but we'll see how committed Clem plans on being. Do we go into a Tech Lab into Marauder? Do we just go proxy Reaper into a very uncommitted build, going for a singular Rax? Eyes are on Clem. But welcome to 10,000 feet. Again, this is, I believe, the shortest rush distance map in the map pool. So very short rush distance. Again, aggression is favored. Based on the vetoes, it looks like all the larger maps are vetoed. Celestial Enclave, Mothership, Winter Madness, White Rabbits, all were vetoed. Just a hyper-aggressive series instead. And herO should notice the Rax is missing, right? He's here with the probe, he knows the Rax is missing. For what he knows, the Rax could be further down in the natural, it could be at the third base, it could be at the triangular third instead. It's on herO to determine. So bunker gets turned down. Reaper is on the way. Just the Reaper. Again, there's no second Rax, there's no Tech Lab. As that SCV is getting quite low, the Stalker is being chronoed as we speak. And can Clem finish this bunker? Can he finish? Looks like he will. Yeah, it looks like he will. The probe goes down, does not get the shield battery in time. Bunker will complete. The Reaper gets into the mineral line. You can see the Stalker going straight for the SCV. It's going to be close. Can he get it? One more shot. Oh my god, just barely. The bunker is denied. And with that herO, he will hold on. Despite that, though, losing 3 probes in the main. Did I say 3? Does he get 4? He does. 4 probe kills. Oof. Reaper does fall. Does barely get sniped. But again, 1 Reaper for 4 probes, not bad. Oh. As the second Reaper does pull out. Pulls out in time. Back at home, CC is on the high ground. Clem is transitioning. But I would say that herO, I mean, yeah, he did lose a lot of workers. Can try to contain his opponents. We'll see how we recover. Okay, Clem even investing into the bunker. Setting up on the high ground. And after the Stargate opener last game, we have a Twilight Council instead. So herO looking to get in towards Blink. Technically, this could be an early charge-based build instead. We have seen that rise in popularity as of late. I've seen that from players like Classic. We'll see what herO goes for. And we have the tech of choice, Blink. So Blink is on the way. We'll keep an eye on the gateways as well. So far, it's 2-gate Blink. We'll see if he goes for a 3rd gateway of Robo or a 3rd Nexus. So far, 3rd gateway. Getting into 3-gate Blink. Could even go up to 4. Hallucination gets eyes on the starports, on the extra Vaxes. Reaper is deflected. And herO is playing safe. Okay, he's playing safe. Throws down the Robo, so 3-gate Blink into the Robo. herO is delaying his 3rd expansion in favor of extra gateways and that Robo just to be safe. With that, he can get into Observers, early Immortals, if need be. Cyclone drop is going to be denied. Nice positioning though, as I believe the Cyclones, yep, they just get free damage. Just free damage on the gateway. Stalkers, they do come in from behind though, and they will deflect. It's a nice movement out of herO. Deflects the Cyclones. We have Clem going into early stim. He actually switched out. He does switch out of his factory, so no tanks. I believe, yeah, no defensive tanks. The defensive setup here is going to be actually quite weak here for Clem. Rushing into stim instead. Thankfully for Clem, herO is being more defensive. Remember, herO, he went for a very safe opener. If herO had gone for a Prism with extra Stalkers to move out across the map, he might even be able to kill Clem. And the hallucination confirms that. herO, he got into the main base, he saw the add-ons, he sees that there's no tech lab on the factory, and he sees the upgrades on the way in the Raxes. So now herO is aware. So now he's just building up into 3 bases. Oh, catches a free Liberator here, okay. Does catch a Liberator. Charge is now on the way. Enough time has passed where Clem, now he can hold on to any kind of aggression. He has a high enough Marauder count. From here, we are just going to settle down. Here, likewise, going into Storm. We have our splash damage of choice. As here, he does spot the... Ooh, did spot the medevac, but no, actually does blink forward, does miss it. Yeah, it does miss the medevac. Drop gets in. Here out of position. Thankfully, not many workers to kill. Thankfully. Here making his way into the main instead. Okay, blinks in. It's a reactor, can even trade against these Marines. There's only 3. He does stand fight. Oh. Doesn't risk it. Nice little pickoff. Here he is back home to defend against the initial Cyclone drop. Well, double buyer drop into the main base. Here he does have some Zealth, some High Templar. Clem is going for the Templar though. Oh, and does get 1. 1 Templar goes down. Charge not yet done. There's the recall. And there's the recall back home. Does snipe one of the medevacs. And from here we're just building up. Just building back up. Clem gonna force a cancel. Nice damage here with these 2 Cyclones. Getting more than I'm sure he anticipated. Even kills a pylon as well. The pylon. herO threatening with a storm drop. Oof. Some panic storms here. Does land a couple though in the main army. If he had 1 more, then maybe the army is so low, so battered, so bruised. Clem does defend. Oh. herO looking for damage. Gets a Marauder. Order goes down. Cyclones are back. Jesus. These two Cyclones have been so annoying this game. From the beginning, Pappy. They got 5 more probes. Finally, they're going to go down. They've done well, though. herO, meanwhile, pushing with his main army. He's got his storms ready. He's got 5 High Templar. Oh, my God. He's got 5 storms. Yeah, storms they zone away. Zelzay busts into the mineral line. There's still, what, 3 more storms left. There goes. Ghost getting exposed. And here even saving that Templar from the EMP. Ooh, I spoke too soon. EMP lands. And herO has to back up. Here he pulls away. There's 1 more storm. Massive connection. Oh my God. Clem, he tanks the storm. Does snipe the prison, but Clem, he may lose everything here. Yeah, GG gets called. Clem, he will lose the entire army, and herO, he snowballs out of control. herO will take the series 2-1, advancing on to the grand finals. GG. Whew, GG, well played. A very aggressive series here between herO and Clem, going into Tourmaline, Ruby Rock, and to 10,000 feet as well. Hyper aggression out of both players, and some unique openers as well. We saw that, yes, Clem, he was able to get some damage across the map with his Cyclones denying expansions, but we saw when it came to the main fights, herO, he was able to soften up the army ahead of time with his storms. He was able to deflect the initial drop aggression as well, and again, Clem, he did have a really hard time getting into the mid game there. Took a lot of storms to the face. GG, well played. We also spoke a little bit about the map itself. It was applicable to all 3 maps and all 3 games, but aggression hits so different on these maps just because there's so little time it takes to get across the map as well. And alas, herO, he was able to break through, able to strike, able to break through. GG, well played. GG. And with that, Clem is out. Clem is out of the tournament, and we're here to determine who will face off against herO in the finals. Will it be a Laser? Will it be Trigger? As we're getting ready for our next semifinals match, another best of 3. Let's go. It's going to be a best of 3 PBZ. Game 1 is going to be on Celestial Enclave. And spawning in the bottom hand corner of Celestial Enclave, we have last week's champion, by the way. We have the Canadian Protoss, we have the Teal Protoss, representing Basilisk. It is Trigger. Exclamation mark, donate. And spawning in the top right hand corner, we have the orange Zerg player. You have the Polish Zerg representing himself, currently teamless. It is a Laser. Chat, how do we donate to the Bunny Fund? You can help donate. I believe there's a Stream Elements link. There's a Stream Elements link if you wish to donate. But yeah, it's been a very rough 2026. It's been very rough, and the donation bar it won't cover all the expenses, but it will help. It will help. I want to say that over the past 2 weeks we've spent like $4,000 on medical bills. It's been crazy. It's been crazy. So yeah, it's been a big blow. But you know, our bunnies are recovering. They're recovering. They'll be okay. They'll be okay. There's more bills to come as well. Looking forward to that, Pappy. Look at that. But we'll be okay. We'll be okay. It's the bunny can. So our players are going to be opening up. Standard opening here by Trigger. Likewise, a Laser going for a hatch gas pool as well. I'm really excited to see how a Laser does approach this, by the way. Once again, a Laser, he did go on a massive hiatus, a massive break from StarCraft. A Laser, he only came back in the most recent patch and map pool. The majority of the year, a Laser, he was playing AoE. He was playing Age of Empires 4 instead. So a Laser, he recently came back to StarCraft, has been enjoying the patch, enjoying the map pool, and has been having some success. Like, we've been seeing some deeper and deeper runs out of a Laser, which we often did not see in the past. So Laser has been achieving a little bit more here, and we'll see how he compares to Trigger, who again is last week's champion. Trigger, he defeated Clem in the finals of last week's tournament, and we'll see if Trigger can actually reprise his role in the finals 2 weeks in a row. And our Stargate opener out of Trigger. Does go for the Stargate. But yeah, it's been a very, as we're selling, it's been a very stressful time here, like especially not just when it comes to like, you know, going to the vets and medical bills, but I'm sure bunny owners in the chat, I think Seagirl owns some bunnies as well, are aware, but you know, at post vet visits and especially like overnight stays as well, because bunnies come back home and they don't smell like they used to, bonds can be broken and often are broken, and that is the case with our bunnies right now. Unfortunately, she had to stay overnight at a vet hospital, and returning that our buddies are strangers to each other, which is really sad. It's really sad, and we have to kind of go through the bonding process again with them. Doesn't help that most likely, like in a week's time, Chi has to go again to the vet to get spayed, to get desexed, and then when she comes back, most likely again, like there's, yeah, it's the bonds have been broken, and hopefully we're able to, you know, bring them back together again. It's unfortunate that we have to keep them separated at the moment. It's marriage, man. It's marriage. It's unfortunate. But it's all good. We'll make it. We'll make it. Otherwise, again, we're just joining up, we're just saturating. Building up our bases. Four bodies, yeah. 4 bodies. Trigger picks in. Again, just the opening up with the Oracle. Does take a lot of hits already, though. It takes a lot of hull damage here. Does at least find a second drone. Trigger's been in a bad slump. What do you mean? He just beat Clem last week. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? I guess I should reiterate once again. For those who don't know, Trigger, he was last week's WardiTV Monday champion. Did take down Clem, which was crazy. For those that maybe haven't been watching much StarCraft recently. As Trigger does catch a couple of drones, that's going to be 4 transferring workers getting caught out. Nice catch here by Trigger. Behind this, setting up for his 4 bases and getting into the rest of his tech. Double 4s, Twilight Council as well. This is a little bit greedy here by Trigger, but as a reminder, you can get away with this greed because of the map itself. We didn't really get to discuss it, but welcome to Celestial Enclave. On this map, you do have a pocket base, so you can take as a 4th, 5th, or 6th. So there's a very secure 4-base setup here for Trigger, and with this, he can defend, tech up, and build up even into Sky Toss. It is not uncommon to just see hybrid defensive Protoss play in ZVP on Celestial to get into that higher late game composition. We'll see if a laser can stop him. A laser, he's going to early Evo Chamber, +1 at melee into typically Ling Hydra. Ling Hydra should be the tech of choice here from a laser, and we'll see if a laser can try to break Trigger before we even think about Sky Toss. As Oracles, they do poke in. Lasers and spores don't see often. Yeah, there's a spore in each base. I will say that a laser, in his return to StarCraft, he has not been as greedy as he used to be. Like, I want to say a couple of years ago, even last year, for a long time, a laser, he was known for being hyper greedy, right? He was known for being hyper greedy, where he would skip spores, he would lose like 10 drones, but because he would drone up so much, he would just have a greater economy anyway. It was crazy. But after a laser's pseudo retirement, now that he recently came back to StarCraft, he hasn't been that same kind of player, which, to be fair, has been really exciting. It's been really cool to see kind of a different kind of nature, a different kind of style out of a laser. And again, we'll see if he can get there. For now, there's that Hydrogen, as we did mention, so Ling Bane Hydra out of a laser. Meanwhile, we do see that Trigger is still building up, getting a 5th expansion as well. Wall of cannons, wall of shield batteries. In my mind, we should be seeing a fleet beacon soon. We'll see if, again, he does intend on taking up into Sky Toss, or if he intends on staying on a more mid-tier composition instead. As the cannons and shield batteries are finishing up, Trigger taking the defensive stance. Again, we should be seeing either a fleet beacon or like a bay into Colossus production. We have the answer. We're going for a Templar Archive Storm. So Storm is going to be on the way. Archons as well. It does feel like this tech is late. Like Trigger, he has gas. He has gas remaining, so it does feel like a little bit of a slip up macro-wise there. When it comes to his further tech, it does feel like Trigger is vulnerable, stuck with purely a gateway composition. And Laser, he's amassing his Lingbane Hydra. A Laser is done droning, is up to 79. And Screen and Spore are in position. A Laser, he'll soon push. He's soon going to push, he's soon going to commit. And again, Storm is late. Storm is late for Trigger. Without Storm, I don't know if he can hold on. Lingbane is rolling in, Baiting Speed finishing up in 2 seconds. A Laser does commit, breaks through the Zealots. And breaks through the charge, so it's now gets on top of the army. And again, this tech here is just too late for Trigger. He's going to be broken. Yeah, it should be broken here. Lings a trickle on forward. Hydra starts to step in as well. Trigger falling back. 5th base will fall. And a Laser may just break the 4th from here. You just keep pushing. Just keep on pushing. Speaking of, Bailings to get into the 4th. 11 probes go down. And again, Trigger, he had a really nice setup. He had a very nice setup overall when it came to his 4th base timing, his 5th base timing. As you mentioned, Trigger, he was banking minerals, he was banking gas, and his tech was late. It was... Oh. It was surprisingly late. And with that, Trigger, he's lost his 5th, and if played well here, a Laser should never allow Trigger to get a 5th base. A Laser can just rebuild, remax, build up another wave of Lingbane Hydra, and once again, break the 5th. Now, you could argue that a Laser, he could afford to take up. What I mean by that is taking up into Hive, taking up into Lurkers, but I don't really think a Laser needs to. At this stage of the game, like, it's not necessary. It would be nice, don't get me wrong. It would be nice to see a Lurker Den or to see an Infestation Pit. Laser going for a split push. Distracting at the 4th base. Main army here towards the 5th. And from here, he will force that cancel. About! Oh, that's going to be a kill. Yeah, kill, not a cancel. Massive pickup. Ay, ay, ay. But again, this was kind of determined when the 5th base went down for the first time. Like, momentum is just heavily in favor of a Laser, and Trigger doesn't really have anything to deal with this. Bailings a roll in, massive connections, gets the entire mineral line. And a Laser, he will break this 4th base. Again, there's just no power units here. Whether it's Colossus, whether it's Storm, whether it's a heavy Archon counts, it's not here. And with that, the base will fall. And GG gets called. GG gets called. A Laser, he does take the first game. He takes a lead in the series. Ooh, GG. GG, well played. Once again, Trigger, even though he was expanding well, even though he was setting up well, there was one big misstep there for Trigger, and that was his tech, right? Whether it was going to be the Bay, the Twilight Council, the Fleet Beacon, whatever it was going to be, in the end, it was the Temple Archives, not Twilight Council, but it was the Temple Archives. It was so late, so delayed, so late, and because of that, it was not ready. The High Templar, the Archons, the Storm, was not ready for the main push. Wasn't ready for the main push. When it arrived, GG. GG, well played. Trigger, he lost his 5th base and he never established a 5th base from there. And now we're getting into game 2. And again, Laser playing well here, playing well. This is what I mentioned before. I'm very excited to see how Laser's playing, just because he did essentially retire from the game. He took a massive hiatus and only recently came back and has been doing well for himself. Has been doing well. And here we go, spawning in the right hand corner of the Old Republic. We have the Canadian Protoss player, the Teal Protoss, representing Basilisk. It is Trigger. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the we have the red Zerg player, the Polish Zerg, leading the series 1-0. It is a Laser. And as we get into this, a big shout out to Tishish 36, the 36 in the chat. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for sorry, not 36. Thank you so much to C Grail. My apologies. I mean, a shout to 36 as well. Shama. But a shout to C Grail in the chat for donating, for tipping $13.37. Gracias, papi. I figured it out. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the donation. Thank you so much for the tip. We do appreciate it. Every little bit does help. Thank you so much. We appreciate it. It's been a very stressful 2026 so far, so all the help is appreciated. Gracias. So now we are going to be settling in. And welcome to the Old Republic. Another one of these larger maps, but now I'm that much more concerned for Trigger. Getting into this game and getting into the Old Republic, getting into this map is known for having a notoriously difficult fourth base to defend. The three base setup here is fine. We do have sure 2 entrances here, but we have some high ground, we have some choke points. For the most part, your army should be situated here at the third base anyway, so we have a relatively defendable 3-base setup. But the fourth base, whether it's the low ground fourth, which does have 2 massive entrances here on the left and right hand side, or even the linear fourth base, which also has a wide entrance and also a longer rush distance from fourth to third, we have seen many a player attempt and fail to defend both fourth bases. I bring this up just because typically in this matchup, the Protoss player wants to build up into a higher base count, into a stronger mid game, and into a stronger late game. To do so, you need your fourth, you need your fifth base, and this map typically favors Zerg players that are more aggressive, that intend on breaking those expansions. So I will say it's going to be more difficult for Trigger to expand here, more difficult to defend. Last game, Trigger's fifth base was broken. This game, his fourth is going to be the big difficult one to maintain. But we'll see. We shall see. I would hope that after the last game, Trigger will tighten up his build. Ooh, a laser going for the forward expansion. This does allow for creep to spread that much faster across the map. Can be indicative of something more aggressive. And now Stargate opener out of Trigger. Philip gets in. Does he get a drone? He gets one. One drone goes down. Does he get two? Oh, delayed reactions, but we do see a laser barely save one of the drones. We'll still lose a second worker there. Nice damage out of Trigger. 2 drones for 1 adept. Gets 2 workers. Another adept has arrived. Shading back home. Shade back. Third base is exposed. I believe the Oracle is already out, and with that, Trigger should defend. Does hold, does defend. Here we're taking up. It is going to be a slightly faster lair out of a laser. Interesting. So a laser is deviating. If you remember last game, what did we see? We saw an earlier Evo chamber +1 melee into a later lair. This time, there's no chamber. There's no Evo chamber here. This could be indicative of potentially a faster Spire, to go into a faster Spire, into faster mutas, or to go into a heavier Hydra count by skipping kind of like the Ling Vein phase. We do have a safety Baliness on the way. I believe that is just for safety. Extra gases are being taken, 4 gases so far. Based on what we're seeing here, it does feel like Spire, it does feel like mutas. We'll see what he throws down when it comes to the lair tech. Is it the Spire? Is it the Hydra Den? So Oracles they poke in. They got us on the Baneling Nest. Getting a drone so far. Gets one. One, gets 2. Spore is not yet done at the third base. Late Spore out of a laser. Oh my god. Getting it to 7 drones. Yeah, nice damage here by Trigger, and we have the tech of choice. It is a Hydra Den. Cancels the Baneling Nest, no Spire. Now, what I will say is that this is not a standard build out of a laser. I tried to emphasize earlier that he skipped a Zero Chamber. He went for a faster lair, so fast lair, fast Hydras. This looks like an all-in. It is not uncommon to go for a 3-base all-in, join up to 3 bases, get a 4th base just for Larva, and go purely Ling Hydra, and that would be the reason as to why there's no Evo Chamber. There's no Evo Chamber, there's no upgrades, because the laser doesn't intend the game to last that long. It also makes sense with the forward third, if you remember. The forward third base, faster creep, faster reinforcements. Trigger, he is applying pressure with his Stalkers. He's up to 5, soon to be 6 gateways. Taking his gases. Trigger building up into the mid game. Does catch a queen. Oh, and the laser does go for the counter attack. Lings, they hit the third. They hit the natural. Trigger does keep pushing. Can he get on top of the Hydras? Again, there's not many defensive Lings. Sutter stepping forward. Some of the Hydras finally going to be going down, getting 1, 2, up to 3 Hydras. Back at home, Trigger defends when losing 2 probes. Ay, ay, ay. Laser, he is hurting. There's 22 more Lings on the way. Ooh, stasis goes off. And Laser's all in. As we mentioned, the 4th base just for Larva. It's just for Larva. No Evo Chamber, no upgrades, pure Ling Hydra. But did Laser lose too much? He lost 3 Hydras. Okay, he lost 3 Hydras so far. He's gearing up here for the 2nd wave. I don't know if I'm fond of the idea of Trigger being proactive like this. He's being very aggressive. Does go for the center expansion. A laser once again avoids the main army, going for the counterattack, which means he will lose the 3rd. 3rd base goes down. Lings, they try to collapse in. And Trigger turns around. Yeah, good call. Good call. He recalls back home. And remember, Trigger just has to survive. Just survive the all-in. And Trigger's going to clean up all these Hydras. Yeah, the Hydras, there's no way out. There's no escape. But Laser losing far too much here. And Laser, he has no longevity. GG gets called. The all-in fails. And Trigger ties up the series 1-1. Whew. GG. GG, well played. We are going to the ace match again. A laser was completely all in, so for a laser to lose all those Hydras, I mean, that was the backbone of his army. That was all that he had. He had nothing else behind it. GG. GG, well played. With that, we're going all the way to the ace match. I was concerned that Trigger was being overly aggressive, considering it was a laser that was all in, but because the laser went for the counterattack, he lost his center base. So it was a good call by Trigger in the end. It was a good call. He was able to kill the center expansion. So GG, well played. He was able to recall in time, and now we're going all the way to game number 3. And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Winter Madness, we have the Canadian Protoss player. We have the teal Protoss representing Basilisk. It is Trigger. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the orange Zerg player, the Polish Zerg, being forced into a tied series. We'll see if we can bring it back. It is a laser. Here we go. Once again, as a reminder, a laser last game went for a 4 minutes 15 lair timing, so very early lair timing. We confirmed that it was for a fast Hydra for a lair tech all-in off of 3 bases. But welcome to Winter Madness. I don't expect to see an all-in this time. Here we do have a much more defendable 3rd and a much more defendable 4th base as well. As you can see here, yes, the 4th base is on the low ground, but there's a much more narrow choke point here, and again, a much more narrow entrance into the 3rd base as well, so much more defendable on 4 bases. As a result, we often do see longer and later games on Winter Madness. We'll see how a laser will approach this. Do we finally see Muta play, or do we see a greedier build out of a laser? I don't expect to see an all-in. Not this time. So far, hatch gas pool, standard opener out of a laser. Trigger likewise, gate expand. Everything looking normal. Is it meta to replay cards WardiTV Mondays on a Monday? True, true. This reminds me of Clem running out of scans in the same map against Rainer. The macro was too good, Bap. It was too good. Too good. Here we're still just going to be building up. Again, soon we'll be seeing the tech of choice, whether a laser goes once again for a fast lair, whether he goes into a faster Evo chamber, or even a safety roach warren, which you have yet to see. But for the most part, I expect to see a greedier style out of a laser. Is what we're expecting. Similar to game 1, where a laser, when he droned up to 80 workers, right? He just droned up to 80, then maxed out with Link Main Hydra. Star Arcade is on the way. Trigger getting into his oracles. And for now, we just have a little dance. It's got the dance here with the Adepts and the Lings. Last game, the Adept was able to get 2 drone kills. This time, a laser's keeping up. It's keeping up with the Adepts. And bearing in mind that 2 Adepts can one-shot drones. So the second Adept is on the way, and that's going to be a bigger power spike here for Trigger. And this does need to be respected. Say threat in the shade, Lings, they react, they respond. Trigger, he commits in. Gets a Zergling. Heads for the mineral line. Ooh, doesn't get the drone. See a laser wall off in time with the Evo chamber. And again, so far, a laser does keep up. Link speed is now done, so Trigger should be pulling back. The first Oracle has arrived. He threatens the shade and does commit, actually. Okay, gets 1. Yeah, 1, 2, 3 drones going to be going down. Once again, he does one-shot workers. Doesn't quite get the 4th, but 3 drone kills, not too bad. And here comes the Oracle. Ooh, does take a lot of hits. Takes a lot of damage. Again, keeping laser busy. Gets 1 drone. The third base is going to be a little bit exposed here for Trigger, but his second Oracle should be staying at home to defend. Oh, he moves out, which means these Lings, they might find some damage. Usually they wouldn't, but Trigger did lose both Adepts, which otherwise would be back at home to defend. Ah, never mind, he warped into. Never mind. Warped into Adepts, he should be fine. He's in position. Trigger finding some more damage. Gets... Oh. Forcing out 2 spores. But nothing major. Meanwhile, we have the tech of choice. It is going to be early Evo chamber into plus on melee. This is the same build that Laser went for in game 1. Same build as we saw on Celestial Enclave. So this time a Laser, he's not going for the all-in. He's just getting to +1. Safety Bailey Nest. The downside of this build is that Laser has a later lair, which means later detection or later tech. But again, it's just building up into a macro game. So Laser's droning. This time Trigger has a much better timed Temple Archives. If you remember, this was thrown down like at, what, 7 minutes last time in game 1? It was crazy late. Maybe even later than that, actually. But this time he will have Storm ready. All in all, cleaner play at a Trigger compared to what we saw in game 1. Meanwhile, a Laser, his goal here should just be drone. Just drone up to 80. Drone up to 80, get up to 5 bases, take your gases, get into Hydras, and then build up into Ling and Bane Hydra. Now, I will say there's a higher chance that a Laser takes extra gases and actually techs up into Hive. The same build that we saw in game 1, which is just running up to 80 and maxing out on Ling Bane Hydra and killing Trigger, should be less effective. I said at the start of the game how the 4th base is much more defendable here. I stand by that. A much more defendable 4th base, much more secure as well. On top of that, Trigger actually has Storm this time, so that aggressive nature that we saw out of a Laser in game 1 should not be as effective here in game 3. So I would want to see an Infestation Pit, I'd want to see a Lurker Den, I want to see a Laser think a little bit further ahead. But we'll see, he might still find an opening anyway. True. He might still find an opening. As a laser, he is now done droning. He's droned up to 82. He's on 5 bases. He's on 5 gases as well. If he takes an extra gas geyser, then that would be indicative of further tech, like a lurker den. For now, though, just purely Ling Bane Hydra. Slings, they try to poke in, they get a Zealot maybe. Shield battery. Oh, the Oracles get called out. Barely being saved. There are extra gases on the way. Okay, yeah, my attention. Getting up to 6 gases. Oh, now we see why. I was like, extra gases? Are we going to see an infestation bit? No. We're going to see drop a Lord's Mappy. Let's go. We're going for a massive Dune drop across the map. A laser, he's going to commit. Very committed play. As Trigger's pushing with Mass Storm. Oof. Do we have any Banelings, by the way? 0. 0 Banelings. No Baneling speed either. Oh, no. Lings, they do counterattack, but this main army may not be dealt with. I mean, there's so many storms, and it's purely Ling Hydra. Yes, storms they punish. Massive storms. And Trigger may just snowball out of control. The Drop Lords are running into the army, so Drop Lords are going down. Meanwhile, the third base does fall. Storms are connecting. There's still, what, 4 storms left? And one more storm. There's a second. There's a third. A little bit cavalier with those final storms. Trigger, he has to be careful. He needs reinforcements. Once again, these last 2 storms have been less than ideal. Trigger, he's running out of storms. He had so many initially, but was a little bit too wasteful there. And we need more warp pins. Trigger, he has 1,000. He has 1,000 minerals. Where's the warp pin? Bappy, we need reinforcements. Trigger's been missing warp pins, missing microcycles. Blinks in. He blinks into the Hydras. Yeah, that was a rough blink. High Templar, they finally arrive after the Stalkers go down. And a laser holds. A laser, he holds on. There was so much potential with this army here for Trigger. But late warpins, late reinforcements. You can see 1,600 minerals in the bank there for Trigger. And Trigger, his main army does crumble. A laser holds. Laser, he holds on. Trigger, wait, how many gateways do we have? 8. Soon to be 9. Cannons now being thrown down. Trigger's trying to spend his money. He's lost momentum. Trigger's in danger. Again, initially things are looking good, but as the storms are being wasteful, there were no extra warpins. Losing the third base did hurt as well, of course. Did hurt. And Trigger, he had the tools. He had the tools to break and to kill a laser, but wasn't quite able to pull it off. Now, with these storms, Trigger can defend. Can hold on. But once again, he doesn't want to waste them. Beats up the Lings. Getting himself with some of the Hydras. At the same time, drop into the natural. Nicely done here by a laser. He drops in. Yeah, Ling Hydra in the main. More probes going down. No critical damage is what I will say. The Trigger is being torn apart. And the supply just isn't there. It just doesn't have enough. Storm of the natural. Lace just rallying across the map. He's rallying in. Trying to get on top of the Immortals. Once again, Trigger barely holding. He's down to 0 High Templar, 0 Archons. Trigger barely survives, but again, it was a very expensive hold. As a laser, it's his turn to overextend. That was calm down, a laser, calm down. Bearing in mind that the laser's army is also very fragile. It's a very fragile composition. Going for another drop. does unload. Laser rotating towards the left-hand side. Trigger, he's trying to keep up. He does have some high Templar ready. Does have a couple of Templar. Trigger, he defends his natural. Nice Storm. Okay. Yeah, Storms are landing well. Trigger defending with the bare minimum. Like, now he's finally locking in, but it's still a really tough hold here. 11 probes still go down. And now we have Banelings. We've been waiting all game for them. The Banelings have arrived. We get a Storm with the mains. We do. Oh my god. The value Storm. Jesus. Don't get much better than that. But Trigger, he still needs more. I still have a massive chunk of Banelings morphing in. High Templar goes down. No Storms. Oh no. There's no Storms left. Yeah, without Storm, these Zealots, they're just not good enough. Not anymore. Banelings rolling in. More Immortals going down. Storm does zone. Does zone away, but there's just a massive sea of Zerg rolling in. Taking down another High Templar, another Immortal. Down to one Immortal left. One Immortal, one Archon, one High Templar. Archon goes down, so does the Immortal. And Lays just has to keep rallying. Just keep rallying. He has broken Trigger's main army. Another drop into the natural. Banelings morphing in. That laser should be able to clean this up. Catching out the final set of Immortals. Up. And Trigger is being broken. Again, I was fond of the build of choice for Trigger. Like, the build made sense. It was all looking solid. It was all looking good. But again, the execution was lacking when it came to lack of warp-ins, the premature storms. And Trigger's been holding on, but only for so long. Only for so long. As he once again survives. True. Got some 10 probes. Another drop into the natural. Once again, you could argue the laser at this point could be taking up. He is transferring workers over, and we could see like a lurker down on the way. He now starts to drone up, so laser, he slows things down. But he can do so at this point. This Trigger is holding on, catching up both drop alerts. LA's is still sticking with Lingbane Hydra. No Hive, no Infestation Pit, no Lurker Den. It's fine. Like, Canalasia doesn't need it. It's fine. The supply block is hurting. That's a lot of storms, true. Yeah, how many High Templar? 6, Jesus. 6 Templar left over. Lings, they bust into the natural. Hydras, they waddle in towards the bases. These Hydras are going to be cleaned up. And the laser, can he break into the fourth? Oh, the Banelings. Ooh, not quite. Doesn't quite get into the middle line. There's still going to be 16 probes. Oh my god, the Banelings, they connect. High Templar go down. 0 storms remaining. The Banelings are brutal. And we just keep doing this. We once again, Trigger, he barely survives, but he loses all high-tech units. So the Immortal count was reset. High Templar count was reset as well. Once again, just gets reset when it comes to his high-tech army. Does break an expansion. True. A laser. He did lose all of his Hydras. Hydra count was reset. Okay. Oh, no. As Lings, they surpass the army. They try to at least. Okay, more probes. 3 more probes going down. Oof. So laser is going to be zoned back. Rotating back in. There's 1 storm left. The storm is okay, but there was only 1 storm. And again, Trigger just cannot keep up with these trades. As they keep rolling in, Hydras, they step forward, catching out. What is this? 4 more Archons. Gonna be zoned back. Nice stellar run by. It does distract a laser. Uh-oh. A laser, we can keep going. These Archons. We can get them back. Okay, gets 1. Gets 2. Does, yeah, does snipe all 3 Archons. Does he get 4? Uh-oh. He does. Does he get 5? Jeez. 5 Archons go down. Ay, ay, ay. And this should be the final push. Like, again, the Trigger, he's been dying for the past 15 minutes. Like, it's been a slow death here, but GG gets called, and Laser, he will take the series 2-1, advancing on to the grand finals. So GG. GG, well played. A big shout out to Baby Links. Thank you so much for gifting 5 subs to the community and also free subscribing as well. Thank you so much. I do apologize for not giving you a shout out during the game itself, but thank you so much for the support. We do appreciate it. Thank you so much. Just catching up in the chat. Like Woody seating has worked out well. I think he claimed it was a player proposal. It was. That's been the case for quite some time now. But thank you giving a sub to Tom, to Okung, TY, Young King, and Chi Shashak. I'm not even gonna try with that one. But thank you so much. See, Mixo in chat, the laser's kind of dead. I believe that message was probably posted when Trigger was pushing for the first time. I agree. Like, again, remember, Trigger, he had like 7 High Templar. He had a mass amount of charge, lots of Immortal as well. Like, Trigger's main push was terrifying. Again, like, the build itself the Trigger had gone for was solid. But if you remember, as we were trying to emphasize, like, he was missing warp-ins, missing reinforcements. When it comes to reinforcing his army, he was banking 1,000, almost 2,000 minerals as he was attacking. Likewise, his storms were a little bit too careless. He was wasting a lot of his storms, and in the end, Laser somehow survived with purely Ling Hydra against a very storm heavy push. And after that defense, that was game. As I mentioned, like, Trigger, he like was dying for like 15 minutes. Like, it was a very, like, he was hanging in there, barely hanging on, but he never really had any momentum. He could never really threaten a Laser, threaten his bases. A Laser, despite staying on a very lair tech composition, he could just afford to stay on lair tech. Like, he was trading well enough, killing workers, killing immortals, killing and resetting the Archon count as well. GG, well played. With that, we have a Laser advancing on to the grand finals. It is going to be a best of 5 finals between a Laser and herO in those finals. I'll be honest, I can't remember the last time we've seen a Laser in the finals. I mentioned before, but a Laser, he took a massive break from StarCraft. Alongside Sort of, and we got a Sort of raid earlier, but alongside Sort of, a Laser, he was playing a lot of AoE. He was playing a lot of Age of Empires instead, for the majority of last year, actually. Or at least for half of last year. Laser, he was focusing on streaming and playing Age of Empires instead. And it's more of a recent change that Laser has returned to StarCraft. And again, for a Laser to make it to the grand finals, impressive. Really impressive play. It's refreshing to see him back, especially because Zerg representation is very low, right? Like, it's quite rare to see any Zerg players in these tournaments. So to have a Laser be like, maybe not a regular, but to see a Laser pop up every now and then, we appreciate it. Like, it's a nice diversity and a nice break from the non-stop TVPs, because very often it's either PvP or TVPs here in these online events. So it is nice to break that up a little bit and to have some Zerg in the finals. Let's go. It's going to be a tough one here. I will say that, as he's up against literally the best Protoss player in the world. So it's not going to be an easy one here for Laser. Will be coming in as the underdog, but we'll see if he can hold his own. We'll see if he has something special up his sleeve for herO. Let's go. Let us go. Just catching up. See herO in the chat. Laser's so cool. All you need is Hydra Link. True, true. I mean, we had some Bailings towards the end, but yes. Just Ling Hydra against Storm. That's all you need, Pat. All you need. And here we go. We're getting into our grand finals. So grand finale spawning in the right hand corner of the Republic. We have the South Korean Protoss player. We have the blue Protoss representing T1. It is herO. And spawning in the bottom left hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the red Zerg player. The red Zerg player, we have the Polish Zerg. It is a Laser. It was after the push. I saw Storm. Understandable. the PTSD, baby. Let's go. But yeah. Shout out to Bailings. Thank you so much for giving us up to Oreo. Este Oreo. Good to see you, Pappy. Good to see you. Take care. Take care. Try not to get stepped on too much. Look after yourself, Pappy. Look. Este Oreo. When are we seeing Oreo in another tournament again? I distinctly remember you saying that you're actually back. You've been playing a lot. You know, I was just going on a bit of a rant saying how we rarely get Zerg players in tournaments. I'm looking at you, Oreo. When can we see some Oreo again? In a tuna cup. Gibch. I want to see Oreo versus herO. I want to. Este Oreo. As now, we're going to be building up. And once again, welcome to the Old Republic. One of the larger maps in the map pool. Larger map does have some open fourth base locations. And if you recall, the last time we saw a Laser on this map, he did go for an all-in. Laser, he went for a 4:15-ish lair timing, went for a Hydras, skipped his Evo chamber, and went purely for a Ling Hydra all-in against Trigger. If you recall, it did fail. Trigger, he was aggressive himself, was able to shut it down early on, able to counterattack, kill the expansion, recall back home in time, and shut down the all-in. We'll see if a Laser goes for the same style on the same map. I looked, they're all at cook time of day. Tuna Cup is at 11 p.m. No. That's the WardiTV Monday is at 11 p.m. Tuna Cup is at 9 p.m. 9 p.m. and we're looking to change it into 8 p.m. But yeah, no excuses. Tuna Cup is 9 p.m. The other tournaments are a lot later. They're a lot more European friendly and European centric. Our tournament is a little bit more Korean / Oceanic friendly. 9 p.m. baby, 9 p.m. Este Oreo. So now, as now we're building up. Once again, the Laser goes for the center expansion. I'm getting deja vu. If you recall, this was also the base that Laser took against Trigger when he went for the Hydra all-in to spread creep across the map that much faster. So eyes are on a Laser. We'll see how he spends his gas. At the same time, Overlord is going to be deflected. Laser to get eyes on the Stargate. The Oracle is on the way. PM start. Oh, hello, herO. As he's going for an early Twilight Council. Twilight Council Gateway Explosion. I was talking about a Laser being aggressive and what a Laser would get into, but herO, before the third base gets thrown down, he throws down a massive wall of gateways and tech as well. Much more committed, much more aggressive by herO. Remember, the Overlord was deflected, so a Laser, he's in the dark. He does take note of the lack of third, though. So this is a tell. This is a tell. Third base has not been thrown down. The Oracle does get across the map, getting 2-3 drone kills so far. Nice damage out of the Oracle. As herO does pull away. Glaives is being researched. It is going to be 4 gate Glaives out of herO. And a Laser. Curious to see how he spends his money. Pulling back into gas. Third base time being taken. But again, the Laser, I'm sure he did take notice of just how late this expansion is. So he's aware that something is a little bit wrong, something is off. Safety Roach Warren. Let's go. Nice read. 430 Roach Warren. This is whether something's wrong. As herO gets 3 more drone kills, 6 in total. Ay, ay, ay. And hopefully Laser does make some safety roaches. Again, even though he didn't scout what was going on, like he's seen enough to really tip him if something is amiss. As herO moves out. So got how many? We have 11 adepts so far. Glaives will finish up by the time the army gets across the map. Roaches are now on the way, but are they too little too late? That's a lot of adepts. Adepts a shade in between the bases. Lings are in position. Nice catch on the adepts. Getting 2. Surrounds 2 adepts, but the rest they make their way into the main. Oof, waddling into the natural. Roaches are popping out. Does shade in, and drones are falling. Yeah, drones are now going to be falling here. 4 dead workers so far. Getting up to 4, 5, 6 drones falling. Shading back towards the natural. And the laser will clean this up. He's able to keep up. Again, thankfully, no game-winning damage yet, but I may be speaking too soon because the Adepts go back in. 7, 8 drones. 8 drones go down. Again, this could have been so much worse. Laser thankfully was able to get his roaches out, and now it's time to counterattack. Laser's massed up his army. Back at home, herO, he's warping in his stalkers. Remember, Blink is late because of the early glaive, so delayed Blink, delayed Forge, delayed upgrades out of herO. He's setting up defensively back at home. He's got a shield battery, and a laser doesn't push. He's droning. A laser is droning on up. He's saturating. So laser going to try to recover economically instead, which means herO can likewise build up and get into his upgrades as well. So we've had a bit of an awkward start to the game. Has been a bit awkward. Unfortunately, laser still stuck on 3 bases. Has a lot of re-droning to do after losing his initial 8 workers. So he's droning, trying to saturate. herO does find some more damage though. Getting 1 more drone. Blink is now done. And Delays is in a rough position here. Again, economically, it still has much to be desired, or it leaves much to be desired. They're at 4th base, stuck on 67 workers. Supply blocked as well, making 6 overlords. Oh, the LA's true. It's been so long. The LA's Lord's map. Yeah. And we're just going to commit at this point. I feel like we're just going to commit on 3 bases. Lings are amassing, roaches are amassing. It's going to be all or nothing. Music is very loud. Oh, my apologies. Sorry, I have a new setup, so sorry, I'll reduce it. I have a new scene collection setup, so the audio levels might be a little bit off. Do apologize. Did just lower it. Let me know if it's okay. Yeah, so here comes the all-in. The queens have loaded in as well. We got the queens. The queens, the lings, the Lurish Ravager. So far, the Logan expansion should be broken, which is nice, but he needs more than that. Does need more stalkers. They come in for the flank. Picking up more Zerglings, trying to get on top of the Ravagers. Trying to. Nexus goes down. Nice initial pickup. Oh! Ravagers are being targeted. Getting 1, 2, 3 Ravagers, forcing a cancel as well. But here he's getting on top of the Ravagers. These are expensive losses here for a laser. Ravagers are bleeding out, but he may still have enough. Yeah, Stalkers, they catch out the Queens. Queens are left on their own. There's no transfuse. Running out of Lings, running out of Roaches, and a laser. He will lose everything here. GG gets called. The all-in fails, and herO, he will take game number 1. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Again, a laser, he was all in, and as we mentioned, even though a laser killed the low ground expansion, it didn't really matter. That was the 4th base. A laser was completely 3 base all in, so killing the base was nice, but he had to keep going. He bled out too many lings, bled out too many roaches. He had no buffer for his ravagers, and once his buffer kind of ran out, that was game. That was game then there. That was the end of the all in. GG, well played. herO takes a lead. herO does take a lead. But again, the audio levels should be adjusted now, so hopefully they're better. This morning, in the bottom right hand corner of Ruby Rock, we have the South Korean Protoss player. We have the blue Protoss leading the series 1-0, representing T1. It is herO. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the red Zerg player. The red Zerg player himself representing himself down in the series. We'll see if he mounts back. It is a laser. Just in-game music. Oh, hold on. Okay, we'd be adjusting on the fly. But we do see a laser being forced to take the unnatural natural. Expands here over at the 3rd base location. But welcome to Ruby Rock. Ruby Rock is a much more aggressive map of the map pool. Shorter rush distance by ground. Aggression here is going to be favored. And we'll see how a laser kind of formulates this. Whether he goes for a German taxi, for example. Winding it back, if you remember, the reason why a laser went for the all-in last game is because he did sustain a lot of economic losses. So he went for a 3-base all-in after losing 8 drones. So he was kind of forced into it. This time it looks like a little bit more predetermined. It looks like we're kind of setting up a little bit ahead of time. Once again, creep can be spread that much faster. We'll see if he does go for the all-in. Still a little bit early to really confirm. So now we're setting up. Are going to be setting up. Once again, though, even though a laser can potentially be aggressive himself, it was herO that was the initiator of that last game, where herO, he went for the 2-base setup into 4 gate glaive adepts, went for a later 3rd base, and it was herO that kind of dictated the pace of game 1. May also do so here in game 2. May also do so. As we have our tech of choice, it's going to be a Stargate opener once again out of herO. Opening up Stargate, opening up Oracle. So far, we're just settling into our game. Settling in, we have our Adept poking in for some harassment. Does 2 short drones. So far, just picking up a Zergling. Nothing major yet. Nothing major. Threading it straight into the main. Keeping eyes on a laser. And this time we should be seeing herO expand. I mean, like glaives did work last game, but no shot we do that 2 games in a row. No shot. herO looking for the Overlord. Will expand. So again, going for a 3rd base at a much more reasonable time this time. The last game we had to delay 3rd in favor of the earlier gateways and Twilight Council. Oracle moves in, confirming her Overlord here at the pillar. herO moves out. Oh. Gets 1 and gets 2 drones. Takes a lot of hull damage, and this time Malaysia's going for the early Evo Chamber. Okay, Evo Chamber into +1 melee, may even just skip the Roach Horn entirely here and set up for Ling Bane Hydra. Okay. Or at least Ling Hydra. So much more standard setup out of a laser. So far at least. Oracle pokes in, no Spore at the third, does get punished for that, losing 2 drones. Once again, that's a lot of hull damage on the Oracle. Oh, good. As herO goes in too soon. Yeah, he does overextend. Oracle goes down. A nice pick off here from a laser. Snipes the first Oracle. As herO did open up triple Oracle, so that's 2 left. Not a bad pick off here out of laser. Oracles, they have so much value throughout the course of the game when it comes to their pulsar beams, stasis traps as well. Don't want to be losing them early. As the Depth threaten a shade. Normandy's Ducklings in position. Getting 1, 2, 3 drone kills, not bad. Oracle's A threaten a dive. The drones, more of them are being focused out, by the way, getting it to 5, getting it to 6. Yeah, 6 drones fall. Getting it to 7. Again, still no Spore here at the third. It's going to be 8 drones. 8 drones do go down. I mean, I don't blame Malaysia for not getting a Spore here. He's had 3 queens in position the entire time, despite that damage has still been done. And now he gets a Spore after the damage has been dealt. Oof. Yeah, it's a rough Spore for a laser. You want nice control out of a herO, keeping both Oracles alive. Does keep them up and running. And behind this, getting into Blink. Blink, +1. Standard follow-up. Our laser did skip his Roach Horn, so he's going into Ling Hydra, most likely. And we'll see when a laser stops droning. Again, we've yet to see a laser really tech up. We casted a laser in the semis, and a laser, he was very Ling Hydra heavy. We didn't see a single Lurker Den. We didn't see a single Infestation Pit. He stayed on a very lair tech composition, and I'm expecting that again here. As you can see, the 4th base, no drones. No drones, no saturation. Just massing up more Lings, more Hydras. Hoping to catch any kind of aggression. herO is moving out. Uh-oh. herO did take his gases. He's up to how many? He's up to soon to be 8 gateways. But here he sets up the proxy location. Going to be committing across the map. At the same time, Malaysia, he attempts to run by, but the Oracles are in position. The Oracles, they shut down the Lings. And Stalkers are on top of the base. Yeah, Lings are out of position. The expansion is going to go down. Here he snipes the 4th. Malaysia setting up for potentially a flank. Behind the army. Rotates, he does find the proxy. But again, I'm sure he was satisfied by sniping the 4th base. A laser at least kept his workers alive, droning up towards almost 80. As he's now been droning up. But this commitment into all these Zerglings wasn't quite worth it. He's being chased down. herO now taking up towards Storm. Templar Archives on the way. herO once again rotating. And we'll see if a laser can hold on. Once again, keeping eyes on the 4th base. herO has yet to expand. And no 4th expansion. Lings, they try to collapse in. Blink is on cooldown, catching out some Stalkers. Nice catch here from a laser. And 3, 4, 5 Stalkers do fall. Nice pickoffs. At the same time, Zelarama gets into the 3rd. Ooh, stuck on a move. He gets dragged out into the open. Nice done by a laser. Does clean up all these Zealots. And could have been worse. Ooh. That is going to be a cancel. Cancel on the 5th base. Do we have a recall? As herO is going to be pinned. Does recoil back home, once again bleeding out so many stalkers here. So another, what, 4 stalkers going down. And Laser is almost maxed. Laser's almost maxed out. herO being a little bit too wasteful with all these stalkers. But Storm is on the way. Storm is almost done. Oh, it's not done yet. Yeah, Storm is not done yet. 10 more seconds. 10 more seconds away. Lings collapsed in. herO, he was premature. Moved out too soon. Yeah, a little bit too soon. And Laser, he does catch every single High Templar. Does try to blink away. There's 3 Templar left. Hydras, they start to step in. And Laser, he may have just done it here. 2 High Templars survive, but there's no Storms remaining. But there is still a warp in. Okay. Zelda warping in. herO, he's barely holding on. Barely holding on. He's got his 1 High Templar on the high ground as well. Efficient trades out of herO. Shaving off a good chunk of Hydras. We have 17 more Hydras in production. Let's go. 17 more Hydras on the way. Speaking of herO, going for a massive warp in a High Templar. He has Templar, but he has no Storm. Oh. Yeah, once again here, he needs more time. Yeah, he needs more time, and a Laser so close to breaking herO. Once again, who needs Banelings? Just Ling Hydra. Oh no! Yeah, snipes a full NG High Templar. Templar goes down, Archons are exposed, snipes both. Nice spread on the Hydras, avoiding the Storms. Yeah, it does avoid the Storms once again. 0 Templar remaining. Laser rushing forward, breaking the 4th base. At the same time, Hydras are behind the mineral line. Oof. These Hydras will be cleaned up, but Laser, he's done it. Laser, he has done it. He has broken herO. Who needs Banelings back? Who needs them? So again, a Laser, he sort of steps in. There's almost nothing left to defend. There's 1 Templar, 1 Archon, a handful of gateway units, and GG gets called. A Laser ties up the series 1-1. GG. Whew. GG, well played. We have a back and forth here. Again, herO, he was overly aggressive himself. If you remember, herO, he was stuck on 3 bases for a long time. It took him a long time to expand. He was hyper committed, going to 8 Gate Blink Stalker, and sure, he killed an expansion, but he didn't really achieve any more damage than that. A Laser already had a backup 5th base, so he was able to maintain his economy, build up his Ling Hydra, and snowball from there. herO, he was very late when it came to his High Templar and his Storm timing. If you recall, there were a couple of key moments where herO was caught out in the open and bled out too many Stalkers. So many Stalkers went down, and likewise his High Templar also caught with his pants down. Lost so many Templar even before Storm did even get ready. GG. GG, well played. With that, we have a back and forth. We have a series, and we are loading into Winter Madness. Let's go. Getting into game 3. We're tied up 1-1, and we'll see how this story ends. We'll see where our players take us. As spawning in the top left-hand corner of Winter Madness, we have the South Korean Protoss player. We have the blue Protoss for T1. It is herO. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the Polish Protoss player. We have the Polish Zerg player. We have the orange Zerg. It is a Laser. Here we go. Through it, no Storm. Once again, I should reiterate that we pointed out that herO, he was staying on 3 bases for quite some time that game. He was very, very gateway focused and hyper aggressive with his Blink Stalkers. Remember, he went 8 gates Blink. Essentially, I don't know if I want to say all in, but just very, very committed play there from herO. His goal was to not just kill an expansion, but to keep going, keep pushing from there, and keep a Laser on the back foot. Unfortunately, he got surrounded. We saw multiple times he got caught out with his Stalkers. Before Storm, before the High Templar hit the field, he was bleeding out a lot of units, and by the time he got into his High Templar, again, he was overly aggressive, got caught in the center of the map. GG. GG, well played. It almost looked like herO was expecting maybe a more economic play out of a Laser. Like, herO was borderline all in, but so was a Laser. Again, like a Laser, he wasn't teching, he wasn't taking gases, he was staying on a very cheap army on Ling Hydra, and was able to catch herO with his pants down. Caught him with his pants down. Here we go. Here we go. We're now going to be loading into Winter Madness. Once again, herO does force the unnatural natural, but this is a much larger map. Much larger map. Longer rush distance by ground. This is a map where I would say that this aggressive nature from a laser that we've been seeing is going to be less effective. I mean, if you remember, I said the same thing against Trigger. Trigger versus Laser on Winter Madness. I was favoring Trigger. In my mind, he'd have an easier time defending and an easier time taking up, and he did. Like, to re-emphasize, like I enjoyed Trigger's choice of build on Winter Madness, but it did feel like the execution was lacking. We'll see how herO will approach this. This kind of lower tech style from a laser, I feel like is going to be less effective. If you remember, what did he do against Trigger? Went for a Doom Drop. He went for Drop Lords, and he went for a split push as well. So that's going to be the back of my mind coming into this game. If a laser goes Massling Hydra again, but if he goes for split pushes with Drop Lords instead. We shall see. We shall see. That's what I'm saying here, just being as annoying as possible. Ideally buys time for the Adept. Adept is on the way. Second pylon, and ideally herO buys enough time for the Adept to arrive to snipe the probe, to snipe the drone. Yeah, Adept has arrived. Drone is going to be zoned away, and a laser is stuck on 2 bases. Ay. Yeah, nice delay here from herO. Laser in a bit of a rough place here, a rough start. Oh, and herO, before we can even talk about a standard game, Twilight Council opener out of herO. Ay. Now, thankfully, the Overlord gets in. The Overlord does confirm that it is not a Stargate. No Stargate. Meanwhile, it looks like we do get a drone kill. 2 Adepts are in position. A laser cannot expand. So a laser, he's stuck on a low base count on a low economy, and herO is going into Glaive Adepts. Again, the 1-2 punch. It's going to be a tough hold here for a laser. Thankfully, he's aware of what's going on. Thankfully, he's scattered with the Overlord. But laser needs an economy. Oh no! Once again, drone going to be zoned away. Tumor goes down. A laser, he just wants to expand. He just wants a 3rd base. Oh, he gets it. Oof, he does get the base. Okay, he does get the base. If a herO had reacted a little bit sooner, he could have maybe tried to force another delay. Now herO gets out. Here he does pull out. Back at him, how many gateways? 2 gateways at the natural, 2 gateways, sorry, 1 gate in the main. It is going to be 3 gate blink. So 3 gate blink Stalker. If you're curious, what is 3 gate blink? It is a quote-unquote macro build. It is very aggressive, that is true, it's very committed, but herO will expand behind this. If we had gone into 4 gateways, then we can typically go into a Robo as well. But remember, there's no Robo. There's no Robo, there's no Warp Prism. That money that would otherwise be spent on an extra gateway and a Robo is instead being spent on a 3rd. So herO is macroing into the mid-game. It is still aggressive, don't get me wrong, but it's not as committed as 4 gate blink. Or sorry, 4 gate glaives. Adaptation shading into the bases. Shading in towards the natural. Gets into the middle line. Oh, and the boys are being pulled. Yeah, the boys are being pulled. The Lings are in position in time. And a laser. He's going to clean this up. Losing 1 drone. Losing only 1 worker. Very nice defense here from a laser. Shuts down the Adepts. And now a laser can counterattack. This 3rd base is exposed. Oh, he has to deal with the Adepts first. My apologies. There's still 3 left over. Still 3 left. Oh, gets into the natural. But again, no major damage. 2 drone kills in total. So laser, he does hold. It did cost the laser a lot of Zerglings. That is true, right? There was some inadvertent damage. And on top of that, a laser's 3rd base is very delayed. So a laser's drone count is actually still quite low. It's a very low drone count here. So it's still up in the air. Still a bit of a back and forth. A laser didn't lose many workers, but he didn't have many workers to begin with. As here he threatens another dive. Shades into the mineral line, gets behind the mineral line as well, reducing service area. And he kites well against the Zerglings. Down to 4. Yeah, cleans up the Zerglings, shades into the main base. This is getting out of hand. As more drones are being focused down, getting another 5 workers. Oof. Yeah, 5, 6, almost 7 drones go down. Much better damage here by herO. And here he is stabilizing. Transitioning into the mid-game. We have Immortal production on the way. A laser opted not to go... Sorry, he did opt to go for the Roach Warren. But no Roach production yet. Just droning. Redroning, resaturating. Again, it's been a very chaotic early game, and herO takes a worker lead. As we mentioned, Alasia didn't lose too many drones, but he wasn't making many to begin with because of his late third base, and of course did lose a lot of workers towards the end. So in the end, herO's build was worth it. Building up his Immortal Sentry base composition. Prism is on the way, gateway explosion, and no gas is being taken at the third, and only one gas here at the natural. So very committed on 3 bases. You're going for a Soul Train-esque composition with Maskglaive Adepts. Meanwhile, Laser, oh no, he's supply blocked 8 Overlords. Ah, the Laser Lords, Pappy, not again. 8 Overlords on the way. Big supply block for a Laser. Now is not the time. herO's coming. His 3 base all-in is here. And a Laser has 15 Roaches on the way. He's got 15 Roaches in production. He's got a couple of Ravagers to help with the force fields. Whilst they graze the army. No major connections. Warping does finish. Nice catching of the Ravagers. Oh, they do slip away. The Ravagers, they do slip past. One of them gets caught out. Yeah, we'll lose one. Tanks the vials. Lings, they come in from behind. Going for the Immortals. Nice round. Yeah, very nice round here. Immortals forced to pick up. Sentries are killed. And the Laser is holding. But at the same time, the Massive Depths got into the main. Well, we got into the main base. The drones, they cannot get away. 13, 14, 17 drone kills. Crazy economic damage, but does this matter, right? Does this matter? Because a Laser, he has a massive Roach Ravager army. He's going to clean up these depths, and he should counterattack. A Laser's being forced all in. He's being forced all in. herO buying more time, killing more drones, delaying the Roaches, getting up to 30, 29, 30 drones go down. And now it's all about the all-in. Here we go. The Queens are all-in across the map. The Roaches, the Ravagers as well. The Laser completely all-in. Back at home, what do we have to defend? No shield batteries. Oh, one cannon, 0 shield batteries just now being thrown down in a panic. We have 2 Immortals to defend. We have the Prism. Army gets spotted. Yo, we need that Prism back at home to juggle units. Where we're headed. The bold move out of herO, going for the counterattack. Oh boy. And that means that he won't be able to... Sorry, my apologies. He has 2 Prisms, okay? He has 2 War Prisms. Never mind. Files, they shut down the first shield battery. Battery goes down. Oh, that's a lot of Roach Ravagers. Started stepping forward. The Adepts, they just melt here. The Adepts are melting. Prism gets across, but we can't afford any aggressive Warpins. As here, he has to pull the boys. He has to pull the boys. Immortals are pushing forward, but there's still only 2 Immortals. A Laser, does he have enough? Does he have enough? Adepts, they commit on top of the Ravagers. Oh, the juggling. Yeah, saves the Immortals. Immortals are being saved. Ravagers are being focused down. And here he does hold. Yeah, he does hold on. Saves the Immortals. The base will fall, but this entire army is going to be cleaned up. A Laser will lose everything. A Laser, he will lose everything here. Every Ravager, GG gets called. The all-in fails. And herO does take a 2-1 lead in the series. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Again, a Laser, we saw something similar on the Old Republic, where a Laser, sure, he killed the third. Doesn't matter though. He was all in. A Laser, he had what, 30 drones? He had like 30 workers back at home. A Laser, he had to kill. Killing the third base was not good enough. He had to kill herO. He had to break into the natural. But last herO, he was able to pull the boys, able to shade and get on top of the Ravagers and clean everything up. Despite only having 2 Immortals, herO never lost them. He never lost them. He had his Prism. He was able to save them in time. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Congratulations, herO. He does take the game, and I believe herO. Oh, here we go. Does take the game, and herO, he does take the series. This is a best of 5. I do apologize, but it looks like Wardy was not in the final game. For those that are curious, Wardy, he does provide us replays, so big shout out to Wardy. Big shout outs. I mean, We provide each other replays, to be fair, at times. So Wardy, he was gracious enough, and he does provide us replays, but it looks like because he was covering it live himself, he was unable to get into one of the games, or maybe he disconnected, maybe DC'd from one of the games, or maybe he just wasn't there, or like he wasn't invited. But unfortunately, we have an incomplete replay pack here. We are missing one game, and I can confirm that herO did win it, and herO does take the series 3-1. GG. GG, well played. Is a little bit unfortunate that we didn't get to experience that final game. Is unfortunate, but regardless, GG, well played. herO does take it. We can use our imagination on that on that last one. But shout out to Wardy for providing the replays to begin with. Unfortunately incomplete, but it's all good. It's all good. GG. GG, well played. He waits to attack with drones until the adept shoots. True. But yeah, GG, well played. Shout out to Alasia for making it to the finals and for making a series out of it as well. We did have a back and forth here, so we did have that kind of back and forth dynamic. So shout out to Alasia. Again, Alasia, this might have even been his first time making it to the finals. Like Alasia, he's not really one that that does make it far in these events, partially because he's been MIA for so long. So GG, well played. No shame in going down to herO, as herO is the best Protoss player in the world. No shame. No shame. GG, well played. As I was a little bit curious as to MaxPax's run here. Remember, MaxPax, he made, sorry, Trigger's run. Trigger, he made it to the semifinals, did go down to a laser, but Trigger, he actually did perform quite well making it that far. Let me just quickly switch our scenes over. Un momento. How do I... Sorry, we have a new thingy. I'm not entirely certain how this works. Yeah, that's not good. Never mind, Pappy, never mind. But so when it comes to this event, Trigger, he actually beat MaxPax. He beat MaxPax, he beat Hearthstone, and he did lose to a laser in the end. But Trigger, to defeat MaxPax was a really big win for Trigger early on, as MaxPax was eliminated in the round 16. Again, I would say that nowadays MaxPax, one of his weaker matchups is PvP. That is where he's been struggling that much more. So really impressive play there by Trigger to bring him down. And a laser beat Shameless, Lemon, and Trigger himself to make it to the finals. GG, well played. Again, congratulations to herO, and if you want some more WardiTV StarCraft, this is a weekly tournament. Every single week there is the WardiTV Monday, and I believe number 70 begins in 10 minutes. 10 minutes time is going to be the next tournament, so you can check that out over on Wardy's channel. If you're curious why are we not casting it, it is because it does start very late here in Australia. Previously it did start at a more reasonable time for us, but daylight savings did hit Europe, so it was pushed back an hour, and now it starts at 11 p.m. 11 p.m. start time for WardiTV Monday, so very, very late. As a result, we often do cast it via replays now instead. Once daylight savings hit again, then we'll be able to cast it live again. Most likely. But otherwise, GG, well played. And stick around. We're going to be giving another StarCraft streamer a raid. We could raid Wardy. I think he just went live with the next WardiTV Monday. Who else is live at the moment? Don't notice too many people. Young Yakov just went live, true. Rex is going to be casting as well. Nero is playing Dota. Don't see many people playing StarCraft, but we can just give Wardy some love. We can give him some love. Again, he provides us replays, so can give him some love, give him some support, as he, of course, does host this event, Again, it's a weekly tournament. If you want to help us here on the CranKy Ducklings, you can do so via... you can do so, bam! You can do so via Patreon, !Patreon in the chat. Our Patreon does fund our tournaments. As you can see here, we have Sea Duckling open, Sparkling Tunic up, and Masters 1 open as well, all funded via Patreon. You can help us reach greater goals and boost the prize pool for these tournaments if you wish. Otherwise, you can also donate. We now have, I don't know if you can see here, a donation bar, the Bunny Vet Fund. If you've been keeping up with some IRL things happening for myself, it's been a very, very, very rough 2026. Where's 2027? It's very rough. A lot of vet bills. Unfortunately, we've had some medical issues with our pet bunnies, and it's been very, very expensive. very expensive to look after them and to care for them, and they're on the road to recovery. But yeah, it's been a rough start of the year, and hopefully things do kind of even out. Hopefully, I'm sure they will. Maybe coming into February or March. That's also why we've been casting less. If you're familiar with our channel, we typically boast that we're the most active channel. We cast more StarCraft than anyone else, more than Wardy, more than Steadfast. But this year that is not the case. We've been taking a lot of days off, but that's because I've been busy looking after the bunnies. I just haven't had the time to be free to cast and to cover StarCraft as much as previously, so I do apologize for that. You can see our weekly schedule here. We just wrapped up with the WardiTV Monday. Tomorrow we're going to be live with the LATAM Legends series. We have Pigastar Cup on Wednesday. I will say this now, we most likely will be canceling that cast because we do have a vet visit. I'm going to be going to the vets on Wednesday morning, so we will not be able to cast the Pigastar Cup. We also have the Pond cast Wednesday evening and Rongi Cup on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I'm a little bit tentative on Rongi Cup. We might not cast that. It all does depend. For those who are curious, I do have to medicate my bunnies twice a day, every day, and I also have to let them free roam as well, and usually that does clash with these evening casts. That's why I don't cast the WardiTV Monday live, because it's usually clashing with that kind of time. Same with Rongi Cup as well, so I'm on the fence about casting that, but at the same time I don't like that we've missed so many casts this year, right? Like, we didn't get to cast day 2 of Thunderfire Cup. We missed out on a bunch of Pigastar Cups and WardiTV Mondays as well. Like, we were missing a lot of casts and a lot of events, so I kind of want to get a handle on that again. But we'll see. Like, I'm very on the fence on Rongi Cup. Very on the fence. For those that are curious, Rongi Cup is a big online tournament run by the Chinese scene. It's featuring the best players in the world. So Clem, herO, MaxPax. I think, yeah, MaxPax is also playing. Classic, Cure, Bjorn, like all the top players are going to be competing. I think Raynor as well. I don't think CranKy is involved. I think it's going to be like Solar, Raynor, and maybe Shin. I'll have to double check. But it's a big event. It has an offline finals as well. So it's a big tournament. I would love to cast it, but again, my availability is a little bit shaky recently. So we'll see. We'll see what happens, and hopefully everything goes well. Hopefully. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. We do appreciate it. Do apologize for casting so little this year, but we'll try to get back into regular daily casting again. Like, usually we would cast twice a day every day, but nowadays we've been skipping a lot of days as well. So again, we'll see. And already I just mentioned that we won't be casting Pigastar Cup this week. Going to be rescheduling that, and yeah, well, hopefully everything goes well. But otherwise, thanks for watching. Get well soon, Pappy. Yeah, not myself, but my pet bunnies, but sure. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. We do appreciate it. Give Wardy some love as he's going live with his tournaments, and we'll see you guys tomorrow. We'll see you tomorrow for the LATAM Legends series. See you tomorrow. Take care.